Hello and welcome to the Silver Gauntlets. Hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. Welcome to more coverage of the Challenge Cup. This is the brackets round 1 match between Chuckles501 and Naestriel. It's the first of their best of 3, so there is everything to win still and everything to lose for both of these runners. Your commentators for today are Benjy, KLO, and Skygoro. Folks, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's everyone doing out there? I am
I'm losing.
excited.
I'm losing a territory war to one of our cats, but otherwise, not bad.
I am hungry, I'm on call at work, but I'm happy to be doing something else.
Okay.
We do
Looks
have
like
an interesting layout of settings today. We have Scrubs shuffled, that was Naestriel's pick. We have Required Only, which is Chuckles' pick. We have Random Warp Songs, which is Naestriel's minor pick. And the coward's choice of One Chicken, which was Chuckles' minor
the
I
pick.
mean,
coward's choice.
there's so many more fun things you could do with the miners. Free Scarecrow and Beans pre-planted a IMO, much nicer quality of life changes, and you've got required only. Why not go for random owl warps or something? That'd be fun. Anyways, we're starting as child, and we're just gonna have a quick little peek into Mido's house, which has nothing. Who did not provide out. It is chest appearance matches contest, by the way. This was Chuckles' ban choice, was to make sure that CAMC would remain on.
It is painful when you can't tell, when you have to open every single chest. It really does just raise the time of the seeds. It's not a choice I enjoy. One thing I'll note is that nobody has checked that minuet yet. It would be a perfectly logical strategy to check where minuet takes you as soon as you start the game, just in case it takes you to another song.
I would say we'll be checking the song location before we check where the warp takes us. Get enough rupees to do the 3 scrubs in that we can in Lost Woods, and then do it.
Fortress.
Well, never mind. I'm completely wrong.
Fortress.
Now,
That
this
is
is
an interesting one.
somewhere you
That's
do
a
not
pretty funny
usually
warp.
see as child.
Yep, you don't normally see this as child, but what this does mean as far as logic goes is the Gerudo Bridge is open. Can be opened right now. If you beat the Gerudo Guard as a child, it opens the bridge for you. They build the bridge even as an adult.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's definitely something you can do. I mean, you can even go. Oh, my brain's still trying to boot up since I just woke up. Yeah, it's.
How many hits does she take? I believe it is Kokiri sword locked. I think the general rule of thumb is depending on how many hits it would take from a stick, determines whether it's Kokiri sword locked or not. It's why the dead hand is normally Kokiri sword locked, which is a trick enabled in standard settings. Also, any Stalfos and Dynalfos require Kokiri sword logically.
Something to note as well with the random warp songs, taking us to so we can get into GTG as child. You can activate the bow switches with slingshot, and the Song of Time blocks because we haven't moved them yet. They're there as child, so you get access to right side of maze.
It's true.
In terms of
Unfortunately, you can't get in as child.
Yeah,
not?
because there is no guard there to let
Oh,
you
I didn't
in.
know that.
No way to pay them to get in. It would be cool.
Well, ignore me then.
Fans of Valley Lake will be happy today with that warp song, getting us straight to the valley.
They'll be less happy when it turns out there's nothing here.
We do have one chicken, but do you know what the power play would be? To skip chickens, even if you have one. That would be a power play.
My Season 7 experience was every time I don't do chickens, I get punished by it. And that is the hammer. That's our first major item, Sphere
Very
Zero,
nice.
on one of the scrubs in the woods.
And what it does mean is that we've picked a setting that is actually going to have an impact, which, nice. It always annoys me when you pick some interesting settings and then it turns out they were completely useless and nothing good was on them and they just added time.
We pick cows and opponents' songs on Burning Cack.
Stick
Hey,
grade.
yeah, free stick upgrade. That's good.
Chuckles will be very happy with that. He is infamous for running out of sticks.
30 is
Getting
dead.
30
an
is
extra
dead.
10 is very nice.
Oh, we say dead. It's unusual that you'd see someone pick up 30 skulls for chews, but I've seen it. Unfortunately, I have seen it happen.
That's true, but with that Sphere Zero hammer, I don't think it's going to be
No,
something we do.
no, I fully agree with that.
So many of the bomb lock checks in the game can be done with a hammer instead.
Okay, so that's Song of Time. Burning Cack has Bolero.
Frogs 2 is just a piece of heart.
Okay.
So we're ticking off the hints. In terms of the random warp songs, there are a few places that we have to be able to get with, which there has to be a warp song for. There has to be one to the Nocturne pad to get into whatchamacallit, Shadow Temple. That's the ticket. There also has to be one to get you that warps to Colossus. Hi, Habham. I finally won the seat back. There has to be one that warps you to Colossus for adult and child spirit access. And is it just those two?
There's normally Bolero, but one thing I will say is none of that is actually true, as we've got required only set. If you don't need to go there, we don't necessarily need a warp song there.
Very true.
So we did get Sacred Forest Meadow to Bongo as a hint. We did have Song of Time and Sacred Forest Meadow so far. Death Mountain Crater Scrub is dead. Yep, that's good.
Sphere Zero Scrubs coming in handy there with the hammer and the iron boots. Now, it's never something I normally like to see, having a song location past Kabongo. The worry is you're going to get Nocturne there as an adult. Which is just a waste of a hint, really.
So we did get Mom Choose on Death Mountain Scrub. But I've seen like warp songs take you to the top of like Death Mountain Summit. So, I mean, if that's where a warp song takes you, you should get your choose in that case. But I don't know. Yeah, we're definitely not getting that. Welcome in, Nuts and Raiders.
One of the nice things about random warp songs with required only is that it means you can get fun stuff like Ruto's Letters in Ice Cavern or Kikiri Sword is in Deku Tree, because there could be a warp song that drops you right outside those places, and actually you don't need to search for an item to get you there.
Yeah, I mean, there is also a good to fair chance that we may or may not need, Ruto's letter today, for example. At least because like you just have a warp song that takes you straight to Fountain. Usually that's the case, I find. Yeah, Frogs 2 is dead. Ooh. Hook shot there in Lake Hylia Scrubs. Yeah, very nice, very nice.
It isn't one of the things about adding scrubs to the pool is that you do get a lot more Sphere Zero checks. So having these that open up incredibly early is a very common occurrence.
Yeah. I feel like when I did scrubs, the scrubs that Chuckles is about to do here, the Lon scrubs, sometimes I forget to route them in because it's like, oh yeah, scrubs are on.
You get muscle memory, you do the cow silo, then you leave, you warp out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Even though it's
interesting,
incredibly
like,
easy to get.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
pretty it's pretty good to. So if you just go from the door and back walk straight, you'll go straight into the hole. So it's pretty simple to get to, but also again, as you mentioned, easy to forget. So
As the chat says, with scrubs, rooting in Valley Lake makes more sense. That is true, but it makes even more sense in this seed because we did have a warp song that went to Gerudo Fortress. So when you're already dumped in Valley by playing Minuet, even more easy to root Valley Lake.
and, well, for me, I've never heard of Valley or Lake. I don't know what those areas are. Wink, wink. Also, this is a
Up in the middle again.
stressful ranch. Stressful interiors. The Guardians. Anybody who's played Breath of the Wild is having a panic attack right now.
Quite see what was in there. What is it? It's
Fire arrows.
Fire arrows.
Yep.
Not a hugely useful item this early in, but you know, we'll see if it comes into logical sense later. That may well be our only fire source if we don't need to do shadow.
Alright, here we go.
I was going to ask, where's Naestriel backwalking to? And of course, it's Scrubs. So,
Yeah. I just mentioned that this. Yeah, you can just go straight in there and drop it.
The second Sphere Zero triple scrub grotto.
Alright, what do we got here? Had good scrubs so far, so I have high hopes.
This is unfortunate for Naestriel, who is yes, does just squeak out enough money. Even though they only take 10 rupees at a time.
You know what? But Bottle is still good. It's not as great as Hammer or Hook, but that's pretty good, and we get to find out where Requiem is, so, I don't know. What spawning cac do you think it's gonna be? Is the question. Cac is the most interesting.
It was
Yeah.
leading to one of the Kakiri Forest entrances, so not useful as a child, but it's nice to have as an adult, because that does take you relatively close to Goron City and the Forest Temple. Money management in this early game is really quite important. It's, you know, the scrubs only take 10 rupees a pop, but there are a lot of them, and it's easy to get into a 3 scrub grotto and find yourself just short of picking up the last one. It does mean you end up orphaning one of those Sphere Zero checks.
And I've been watching and following along to this, and I do know that anytime you mention Valley, Sadie appears in chat magically, as if compelled.
it's worth pointing out that Valley wasn't totally useless. We got a stick upgrade.
Yeah. Hey, a free stick upgrade is a free stick upgrade.
And you know, if you don't have, if Deku is a stone, for, you know, that you don't know where that Kakiri sword is, an extra 10 sticks is always appreciated.
Put stick and nut upgrade in got Gilded Chests 2024.
Yeah. As I was saying, Naestriel is missing out on that hook just due to not having the money for that triple scrub grotto.
Oh, I didn't see the lens on the Ocarina minigame there earlier. Buying a shielded child, let's go.
The first hook was in the scrub grotto in the lake underneath the grave.
You know what? It's funny that we mentioned lake scrubs because As early as lake scrubs are, sometimes they're the most forgettable. And it could be because you don't like routing in like lake early. I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier, Kayla. It was
It's all
muscle
money
memory.
management, yeah.
Yeah, and money management.
So often, I think one of the most popular minor picks in the F7 draft format has been Free Scarecrow. But
Mhm.
actually, if you're playing with scrubs, then, well, there's a good. I'm probably going to want to go to lake anyway. So you know what? Maybe I don't need to spend the pick on Scarecrow, and I can pick something else instead.
Yeah.
The honestly, this season started off with 3 Scarecrow picks, but I've seen pre-planted beans be much more picked.
I
It seems to be a
love
lot more
pre-painted
efficient.
beans. It's a lot of things logically that you don't have to worry about. But
I
it
might
also
be
opens up
team.
into earlier spheres.
Yeah, I might be Team Beans over Team Scarecrow until Pierre in Fire Temple has an item, in which case Free Scarecrow all the way. Thank you very much.
Just do pixel shot, forehead.
Losses to Baronade.
My friend, I can barely hookshot Pierre as it is. You think I'm doing pixel shot?
I believe in you. What was that? Desert Colossus to what?
Baronade.
Very. Okay.
About completion.
So that means we're either crossing the Desert Colossus or hopefully a warp takes us there.
We'll see what the medallions are. It looks like Naestriel will be going adult, unless these hint stones guide him elsewhere.
Lost Woods to
Lost
Goma.
Woods to Goma.
We did have a hammer there.
Thorn Pot dead. Market dead. Unfortunate.
And
That was Leak Hylia to Baronade. That was another Baronade hint. Okay.
so I think what this is likely to mean is we've either got multiple bomb bags and Dongo's Cavern is a stone dungeon, is a medallion dungeon, or we've got yeah, I think that's probably the most likely. It could also be that Deku's a medallion dungeon, but there's no path because there's a warp song that takes you behind Mido, and also Kokiri swords available. Like that's it's a less distinct possibility, but it is technically a possibility.
Interesting.
The one thing I will note is that with that Lake Hylia to Baronade hint, those 3 scrubs that Naestriel's picked will definitely be at the top of their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that hook probably is not too far away from their mind.
I do like required only. I'm excited for League this year, and I feel like that's like a staple of League. And I do like that you don't have to like think about areas that aren't accessible.
It's been a staple of League for 2 seasons. It's a relatively new addition.
Yeah, Chuckles as a League organizer, it's not necessarily a surprise that they picked required only, but I think what required only does is it makes you think more about those logic breaks. Like whereas before you might just say, you know what? Oh, hello, big chest here.
It was Spirit Temple Footage. Oh. Hey, look, a Hammerlock bomb bag.
That's a great grotto.
It is. It has unfortunately damaged the value of that Lost Woods to Goma hint, as between hammer and bombs, that is probably about 60% of the game.
And iron boots, don't forget iron boots.
Yeah.
And the iron boots, can't forget the iron boots.
Yeah, I gotta throw that iron boots into the Lost Woods path to Goma.
One thing to note is that if Spirit Temple is foolish, and if Spirit Temple's a stone, that means we're not required. Not required a Requiem pad, and Desert Colossus is pad.
Don't worry, it'll be all dungeons somehow. Don't worry, Kalo. Finds a way.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility. We know we need to do Bongo, and there is a warp song on the Ocarina of Time. It's a possibility. You will be hoping with each warp song you pick up that one of them is going to be taking you to the graveyard.
Well, actually, Naestriel didn't even check. the medallion layout, I don't think. Did they?
No, I think they turned that out and immediately played a song.
Chuckles with a big brain play there. Checking the 4 couple of time hints before doing market.
In case
Also,
you get a
Now
market
has
foolish,
market
which did.
foolish.
I also did see Chuckles start doing skull routing with the bug bottle early, so maybe hoping something on skulls early.
If you
Yeah,
have it, do it.
10's,
And
10's
10
never
early.
hinted. 20 can be hinted, but is not guaranteed to be hinted. We've seen
I'm
the
just-
30 hint and 1450s hinted at the Skull House.
Also, we got Nocturne on Minuet. Not in Logic yet. We don't have Serious Song, but... Okay, Nocturne to Bongo. Thanks, game. Thanks.
Well, you say that. It almost certainly is that. But
Yeah.
until we actually play Nocturne and it tells us, would you like to walk to the graveyard? It might not be the Nocturne. It might still be Song of Time.
I
It's
mean...
horrible.
I'm assuming that Naestriel's going to go, Goron City into DC here soon.
Checking whether Nocturne leads to Graveyard immediately. You could, but really anything that's Song of Time locked, you can't get to yet. So
I feel
there's
like-
not really any point in determining whether that's your path or not.
Yeah,
Quite
I feel
yet.
like Naestriel's going to just go ahead and push dungeons here. Even though we don't have a hint, DC is the most accessible right now.
There we go. Shadow. DC is Forest. Spirit. Jabu. Deku. So, Foolish Spirit. Joy.
Foolish Medallion Spirits. The other important thing there is if Naestriel is going to Dongo's Cavern, that will be good for them. Forest Medallion nice and early, get that extra song. Can't imagine Chuckles will be that far behind with a Lost Woods hint and the hammer already set up.
Hey, free money. There's another Spirit Temple hint.
Skull Mask is dead.
Yeah?
There's now Din's Fire in the Boulder Destiny Grotto. We're rocketing through items here.
With required only, because there's a good percentage of the game that's likely not available, seeds kind of either tend to go two ways. In that, well, you're eliminating half the checks, so the seeds can go quite quickly, or alternatively, because of not everything has to be logically available or whatever, you can get really bottlenecked and there can be a real scarcity of items just because everything, like the duplicates, are in areas you can't reach, like a Shadow Temple with Din's Fire in there as well. Something like that. So I find that required only can either be quick or they can really drag. Given that we've already got a decent number of items so far, you feel like it'd be the former, but this is rando, so you never know.
The thing is, with Spirit and Shadow required, that is most of your items are going to be needed anyway.
Mm.
The only thing that's
Oh yeah,
required
this
only
grotto.
is gonna, the
We're
only thing
really
required only is really going to have an issue with here is the long shot. Other than that,
We-
you basically need every item.
we are getting to explore the fullness of Goron City, my home. As we go to the grotto in here.
So, another thing with Scrubs is this adds in an extra Song of Time check.
Mhm.
There are other ways of getting this accessible, including, for example, Magic and Nehru's Love, which is hilarious. But you could get Magic in here, in which case maybe Song of Time would be path.
Man, it would
you
be
could get-
so great to see like Nehru's Love Way of the Hero.
Yeah.
Or
But-
it can just be done.
Yeah, with Song of Time, the path for that, you would need to lock all wallets, the Goron Tunic, and Nehru's Love and Magic.
Which we know it
For
doesn't.
example, that wallet right there means is that there are multiple ways to get that grotto.
I still want Nehru's path in a bonko seed for chickens. That's what I want.
Nehru's path for a bonko, it really isn't that unlikely. There's a lot of crates.
You know what? Fair.
Alright, we gotta remember to at Sadie, if there is a wasteland check, you got it, Sadie. Ah, yes,
Fuck this
another
Goron.
hammer go. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Scrubs are just loaded today, dude. Usually when you turn on the setting, nothing happens. Oh, okay, game. Let's relax.
Have we had a path to...
We've had the Lost Woods path to Goma, which was the hammer to get into that grotto there.
Oh, so we got
That
double
checks
defense up there on the top of the crater. So. Yeah, Lost Woods to Goma is hammer. That is a hammer lock. That is confirmed. And that's the end of that path.
Yeah.
But this is good routing from Naestriel, and assuming Chuckles does the same thing. Say, okay, I've got hammer in a path location. I'm assuming it's that and not... You're assuming that it's that and not the iron boots or the bomb bag that you found that was hammer locked or locked by a different bomb bag. So, okay, how can I route into checks that are going to make use of this hammer early? And the quick diversion into Goron City to clear that out, and then
Bear shield too.
don't buy a shield, obviously.
Crater's just loaded today. Is Crater okay? Everybody
Crater's
go
never
check on
okay.
Crater.
The one thing that Naestriel can't do here, because they've not yet been to Lake, is that they can't cross the broken bridge and find out what song is on the Bolero check.
Yeah, it's an
OT
unfortunate thing to
is-
deal with this.
Although Chuckles also can't check that, because Link the Goron is absolutely destroying this kid.
So, if Serenade takes us somewhere important, this could be all dungeons for Serenade, which would be hilarious.
Well, we have a hook shot, we have a bow, we have the hammer, we have a wallet, we have bombs. We're basically a long shot away from being able to complete all dungeons.
That's true.
While it would be time consuming, it doesn't really add anything to the seed beyond time in all dungeons.
Wait, did we see lights? Did I miss them?
You're
No, we've not
seeing
seen
actual
lights, but we'll get those
Oh.
hinted.
I mean, we're not done yet. We've got neither of the strengths. We haven't got hover boots.
All magic. But Hot Rod will have magic.
Excuse me.
Oh, we
just
haven't
for a
got
sec.
haven't got a slingshot. That's very important. Water Temple to Twin
Water
Rover.
Temple to Twin Rover. There's very little else we need for Spirit Temple other than strengths. So, very likely that's going to be what we find in there. And Naestriel is indeed going into Dodongo's Cavern, but that makes sense because Dodongo's Cavern is incredibly buffed in Scrubs. Goes from a 7-item dungeon to 11-item dungeon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 11 items. It goes to Sacred Forest Meadow.
We don't have to do Forest, theoretically, but when
don't
warp
have
songs
to.
are random,
We don't know
it's-
where Saria's is, so it's not really worth paying that much attention to it yet.
I think it's more you keep an eye on it. You know that it's okay. Should the worst happen, I've got easy access there, and who knows, maybe you might think you might need to go to Ice Cavern, and there's not a handy warp over there, and so that actually could speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
with a non-major item on top of the volcano, it means that we're not guaranteed to have a warp song to that would take you to the Bolero location.
It's quite unlikely that we'll have that. Actually, it's guaranteed that we don't need one because we've got. It's nothing on the summit. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
As Tobias says in chat, we don't know where Bolero, Nocturne, or Serenade are. That's because Chuckles has been the only one who is checking the songs as he picks them up.
I mean,
Naestriel has picked up the Nocturne, but hasn't looked at what it is.
yeah, but Bolero is on Burning Kakariko, so we're not going to see that till way later.
It's the main foolish. It's always something nice to see.
I hate finding ways to route in domain. It's like Child Goron City. It's tricky to find the right time to do it.
Yeah, my fastest league seed last season was 2 hours and 2 minutes, I think. And the seed after that I did was 3 hours and 49 minutes. It was all down to Zora's Domain. Well, Zora's Domain and Water Temple, but it's really an awkward location that everyone at all levels gets burnt by.
I will say,
Right.
if there's something on one of the skulls, then Chuckles has got a good little advantage there because they've been kind of pretty solidly picking them up along the way. Whereas I don't know if we've seen Naestriel pick up maybe 1 or 2, but very few.
Definitely like the play of picking up as many skulls as possible nice and early. Getting 10 out of the way quick is nice because it is a Sphere 0 check. Also, if you haven't checked 40 and 50 yet, it's a contingency plan just in case. You know, if you start as a child, really it could be a long time until you actually do Adult Kakariko. If in cases like this where you have a very loaded Sphere 0, Sphere 1.
That is a water temple to Twinrova.
It's very likely that that's a strength. It's possible that it's something else that leads to one of the strengths. There's also a chance, I guess, that it could be magic, because Spirit Temple is magic locked. It could be the other hook shot. Spirit being logically long shot locked. It's overwhelmingly likely, though, that it's a strength.
You've got a number of possibilities. But, I mean, if this seat's anything to go by, we're going to find all of those items you mentioned in the next sort of 15 minutes. We'll know exactly what's in the Water Temple.
Right, I was gone for just a second. So what did I miss anything? Dodonga's Cavern? Or what was the
No.
Bolero song?
Other than that, hint, not really.
The Bolero song was Prelude, which takes you to Sacred Forest Meadow.
Okay. So
One
logical
thing is,
force
now that
access.
Chuckles has that Water Temple hint, you know, he's the one that has hookshot, he's the one that has iron boots, bombs, hammer, doesn't have hover boots, which I think should be logically required for Water Temple because it's awful going in there without hover boots anymore. I don't know how I did it as a child.
I mean, it's awful going in there
do
with
a
hover
lot.
boots, IMO.
Yeah, you can do a lot of Water Temple already. And with that warp song in Gerudo's Fortress, it's not a long trip yet to Water Temple either. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him getting the song out of the temple at time with a save quit, and then go to Water Temple after this.
With the random warp songs, you can't have multiple warp songs that lead you to the same area, right? Like, you will never have 2 warp songs that go to Graveyard or 2 that go to
I mean,
Fortress, right?
So I have had multiple songs lead me to CAC before, I think. But
Pretty sure, I mean, I've never looked at the code, but I'm pretty sure that's removed.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you can't have one in Market, one in Hyrule Castle, and one in Hyrule Field at the Market. It doesn't mean you can't have one in the Graveyard, one in Kakariko, and one at the Hyrule Field entrance to Kakariko, and one at the Death Mountain Trail entrance to Kakariko. Theoretically, you could have all four
So
of them entrance to Kakariko.
I had one. Let's see, Death Mountain Trail entrance Kakariko, one Graveyard entrance Kakariko, and the other was Cow House Kakariko entrance. It was just the worst. My warp songs took me like 4 feet from each other.
Finally getting out of Kakariko. This is normally the stacked Sphere Zero location, but we've kind of exhausted all of the items.
But we're finally getting any Kakariko.
Don't forget
True, we
Adult
haven't done
Gallery.
anything yet.
Also, we got some Breath of the Wild music today.
This is Cass, right? His theme.
Yep.
Let's go. I definitely played that game. I did not play that game. I'm sorry.
Oh, did Chuckles forget the scrubs? Uh-oh.
Didn't root them anyway, but I think we'll be doing them. I
Yeah.
haven't been paying attention to Chuckles' side of things. I've been watching the adult Kakariko, to be honest.
Here's our look at the Skull House. We've seen 30, which we know is Choose. So 40 and 50.
Nothing.
And
And nothing.
nothing. So
50
at
dead,
most 20.
maximum.
Max of 20.
This is an awkward adult Kakariko route. Unfortunately, Naestriel did miss the ledge grab, so I'm gonna have to change up the route.
Hey, look,
Don't
our
worry,
57th
everyone.
slingshot.
We've got a sling.
Our
We're fine.
first slingshot.
I love Cass as well. He tells us super important hints for overworld puzzles, and Cass is awesome.
If there was, like, in a Breath of the Wild randomizer, instead of hint stones, would it just be like Cass just gives you various hints instead?
Cass hints.
That'd
be pretty funny.
Is a Breath of the Wild randomizer.
There definitely
I
is.
said that, and I'm like, there absolutely already is. Can't wait for my major item to be on the completion of Tarry Town.
Your Urbosa's Fury is on the completion of Terrytown.
Well, it's all according to the guidelines. It's fine.
The music starts getting annoying super fast. I could see it bad on a loop, like if you get it in like Shadow Temple or Forest, for example, yeah. But at the same time, it's relaxing either way.
There are much worse songs for temples in the mix.
Yeah, I got Route 1 from Pokemon in Forest Temple, and I gotta be honest, that is the worst loop I've ever had, and I removed Route 1.
I
removed Route 1 from my music.
I switched to strictly Plando in music after getting the Fortune Teller loop from Link to the Past.
Oh
Which
god.
is a 3 or 4 second loop. Had that for Forest Temple, so.
Bum 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 bum. Over and over.
Yep.
Also,
that's
Danpei was
the entire song.
Danpei was absolutely sniping for the first kind of 15-20 seconds of this race, but
Yeah,
Naestriel's
so-
still getting in there in time.
It's okay,
So
Daddy.
3 fireballs at the same time.
Daddy Danpei doesn't know what a race is, so it's okay.
And we have the rare summertime exit. Which makes sense, having messed up jumping to the windmill ledge. To loop it in this way.
Oh, there's ZL. Easy.
Yeah,
No
Not
work,
guaranteed it in BO, but obviously, given that we've got Shadow, we know it was going to be somewhere.
You can't warp here, my friend.
Well, I mean, this was always going to be, basically always going to be a child song because we are, well, it was always going to be a child song. We've run out of warp songs to find.
Alright, where are we going? Graveyard. Okay, so
Oh,
that's just vanilla.
Fair enough.
That's just
that
vanilla.
is-
So we do need to go into Shadow.
That's a
That was kind of-
makes
strictly
sense.
boring path. Oh, it's required only. Oh, it's random warp songs. Surely it's not going to be Nocturne Path. It's Nocturne Path to Bongo. Brilliant. Cheers, lads.
Thank you, game. Did you know that you need to complete the video game? Thank you. I love paths sometime. I mean, we could still get, like, vanilla hover boots. So, that's
Absolutely
another
you
fun
could.
thing.
I mean, as fun as it is to criticize some truly bonkers paths, I'd still infinitely prefer them to wear the hero hints. If anything, just because sometimes you just actually need to, like, it's figuring out the logic of why did I need to do this again? What? I like that I actually quite enjoy.
There's
Yeah,
my vanilla songs.
Yeah, the ambiguity of Way of the Hero hints, rather than the somewhat straightforwardness of path hints. I do like path hints more.
I know
The thing
that part of
Chuckles
this
does
is
have here is having picked up the Zelda's Lullaby and the Windmill does make the graveyard routing much easier. You can do it all in one visit. Instead of having to go out the windmill and then come back in.
Oh.
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 And that explains why that we had multiple Baronade hints, because there's multiple available bomb bags.
Yep.
And thus impossible to place a path to King Dodongo. So Baronade is the lucky one with 2, which I quite honestly, I quite like having 2 for Baronade because it's got 2 items that pretty much only get you
Yeah.
only get you into
best option
Baronade.
in this seed. We've already got all the items for everyone else. Basically all the items for everyone else. Still don't have a sniff of where Ruta's letter is. We still don't have a sniff where the boomerang is. Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
we only know that it's likely the hookshot path, which
Yeah.
isn't hugely helpful.
Also, I believe this is Wind Temple from Wind Waker.
Sounds
All
like
right.
it anyway. I don't know if it is.
I defer to you.
Yeah, the likelihood of Serenade has gone down, but with the Desert Colossus path, yeah, the archway does loom.
I hadn't thought about that.
We're getting consumed by the moon. There's Surya's song.
Ria's on Prelude. So, either Song of Storms or Epona on Colossus. And those are 2 songs that I can definitely see as path to Baronade, particularly that Song of Storms.
Yeah, particularly with Scrubs as well.
The Nocturne goes to the Nocturne pad.
Is this even random? Hang on, I'm getting word. It is rando. Okay, phew.
So just to note, if we do need Colossus Arch for Baronade, yeah, still 10 people there.
No, because they're both on the. Yeah, you
If it
need
was
to
only
complete
Spirit,
and Jabu,
it
yeah.
could still be, but because you need Jabu as well. Oh, and Naestriel not getting the stick upgrade.
Yeah,
In
I
most-
always get freestanding sticks because there's a chance.
The one thing I
And
will
it
say
is.
in Naestriel's defense is that they've picked up the Kokiri sword already, so there's less of a need to try and pick up a stick in case you get the stick braid.
It's usually how I do it too. I pick up sticks until I get the sword.
Yeah, it's like picking up. It's like you open small chests until you get explosives, because you're looking for those bomb chews.
Now Naestriel will be hoping for a boomerang or a Ruto's letter here. Unfortunately, it will be that first hook shot. So they have missed out on a decent amount of that first adult trip that Chuckles has been able to pick up, which is the reason Chuckles is looking somewhat behind. You know, about 4 or 5 minutes behind in area, but not in completion.
Yeah, but I say we're going Deku Tree right after this, probably. Right after we get done with some Lake Hylia. Some more dungeon completion.
Hasn't
Chuckles
missed
gonna
anything
dip
important without
forest.
that hook? Not quite yet.
Yeah, we're getting a forest tip here. Aggressive by Chuckles, but I like it.
Yeah, you've got 5 easy. No, hang on, this isn't Bliss. You've got 4 easy skulls. You've got
Three easy skulls.
3.
4 accessible, but 3 easy.
Oh,
right. Okay, yeah, one's a bit of a pain.
very immediate big chest here. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, game.
Rush ice.
Rush ice. We got any rush icers in chat?
And the heading
I think.
towards training grounds, maybe, or
Yeah.
cross into Colossus. Makes sense. Out of logic,
Here's a
cross
question.
into Colossus, see what it is.
I know logically you can never cross Colossus's child. Can you do it in actuality? Can you get up to speed to cross the River of Sand as child?
I've never really tried, actually.
Not sure. I don't think the gate. I don't think you can go through the gate in Child Fortress for one. I think you'd
I-
need to. I think you'd need to place yourself over there.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
The wasteland to fortress. As you said, it's never logical that you cross the wasteland, so it is an invalid place to put you. A message in chat saying yes, you can cross Sand Rivers in Child.
Alright, Deku Tree it
Generally
is.
speaking, there's a weird and wonderful strat to do most things.
When Naestriel beats
Gerudo
Deku Tree
Fortress.
as well.
And that
We'll have
Gerudo
laps.
Fortress warp location is very useful for Chuckles at the moment, as it's the sort of midway point between the 2 remaining paths. You've got Colossus on one side and you've got Water Temple on the other side, so I think it's going to be a while before we see Chuckles and Deku. It's just too much for him to do as adult that he can at the moment.
Agreed.
Personally, I wouldn't be waiting for a long shot to dip path stone water, because there's just so little in Water Temple that's logically hookshot locked. Long shot locked, I mean.
I was Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was wondering when Chuckles was farming those rupees if he was planning on buying bomb chews, and he is, which is interesting to me, given that we've already got 2 bomb bags.
It's always good to have like chews as backup. And there's also
Pretty method
strats.
to the madness.
Chews.
Yeah, for the water temple cracked wall, definitely a possibility. You know, the hover boots list strat, the jump to there, is an awkward one, and it's a nasty time loss if you miss it. You've got iron boots, you've got the hook shot, just buy. You've got 200 rupees, just buy the choose, so you have a guaranteed strat. Nice and easy.
Nice French vanilla slingshot.
As vanilla, French vanilla as you can get, really.
57 slingshot that we found today. I've been counting.
Imagine Azuta without all these slingshots. What a time to be alive.
I mean, if you're worried about slingshots, just play Master Quest, where 70% of the 12 items in Jabu are slingshot locked.
Yeah, it's making me less worried about slingshots.
Not only that, but there is a hard-locked slingshot chest in Deku Tree. Also, they put a giant Deku Baba right in front of the spot where you do B1 skip, so it's incredibly annoying to make the jump.
Classic Master Quest.
And that's a bomb on the arch, so don't need that. I'm predicting it's going to be storms here. Yeah, Song of Storms. So we have something either in the well or in one of the two storms grottos, or on the frogs.
Or in Scrubs Grottos.
That's true. There are three storms grottos. Yeah, 3 Scrubs grottos. There are storms locked. One in the river, one in the Sacred Forest Meadow, and one in Gerudo Valley. 2 of which we have nice, easy warp song access to.
So there's a scrub. There's a scrub grotto? Actually, is it a scrub grotto in Colossus, or is that just a random grotto?
That's a
Scrub Grotto. That is strength 2 locked. Yeah.
Okay, and there's also a grotto in Fortress.
Yeah,
right?
it's a fairy fountain.
Yeah.
Okay. I can never remember because often you see scrubs paired with grotto entrance randomizer. Grotto entrance randomizer without scrubs, it kind of feels a bit just very annoying. Scrubs without grottos, I think, is fine.
We've seen all of our non-storm scrubs so far, I believe. Well, other than the one in Jabu's Belly and the 4 in Gan's Castle, but
Actually, I guess with the 4 scrubs in Ganon's Castle, it's the rare time where, if when you're going there, and if you're going into castle, you just need the light arrows, rather than going, if you've got 3 strengths, I'll just go straight into light trial because it's 50-50. You might think, actually, I can just drop down and check these scrubs before I go up.
So yeah, I was curious why Chuckles didn't save and quit instead of just walking to Temple of Time. They opted to walk to hike.
For time of day stuff, maybe?
Possibility, yeah.
Although you have Sun Song, so...
opting to head to Deku instead of the Water Temple, I can see it. You're adding an extra age change on, but you can't complete all of Water Temple at the moment. So there would be an element of gambling to heading in there to hope you pick up the path item.
Alright, Chow go run city time. We can
you're right. in that Deku is, yes, you're adding in extra A changes, but you know that you can full clear it, and you'll have to do that at some point anyway, so may as well.
Watch out for that Goron.
Naestriel, as our resident Goron whisperer, is there going to be anything in here? Oh, it's Naestriel? Sky. I'm saying that because I'm looking at Naestriel in Goron City.
Yep.
Apologies. You're the Goron whisperer. Is there anything in Goron City?
Goron City
tell you
always
that.
has something to offer, my friend. Always.
I can tell
Even
you
if
that
it has
we're
nothing.
doing it in under an hour. Chalgorn City has nothing. Chalgorn City only has something if you do it after 2 hours.
Everybody's always welcome in Goron City.
If we got the hint at the back. Naestriel.
Dancing Dad has nothing. One more check.
We know the Goron pot is dead. We've had it hinted.
Yeah, the Goron pot was
I don't
hinted
think-
at the template.
Oh yeah, okay. Naestriel remembered. And we're gonna get Deku
Again,
Tree
nice.
from Chuckles here.
Again, Reforest showing why it's quite a nice warp location.
Alright, we're getting more Daddy Dante. And this will go... Alright, Naestriel hasn't been across the desert, so it doesn't have storms. So...
Not yet.
I must say that I do like Chuckles' plan to cross the desert in that adult section, because you can kind of get a good... Either it's Epona, which, especially when you've got a Gerudo Fortress Warp, is really nice. Just gets you, the remaining checks in Fortress nice and quickly. Or, if you get Storms, absolute jackpot. And whichever one you don't get, you know where it has to be.
Yeah, the other thing to note is that it was unlikely to be Epona's because you have the Warp Song to Fortress. Therefore, it removes your need to... It removes the possibility that the horse is path for crossing the valley, which is the majority of the time Epona's is hinted path. The chances of it being Storms were a lot higher.
Oh, we're not
It's
doing
true.
chickens.
We do need
We did
either a
chickens.
long shot or
Oh
hovers.
yeah, one chicken. My bad. I'm used to 7.
As chat is noting, we are out of logic for crossing the wasteland to get that Song of Storms. We don't know what's on Serenade, so theoretically it could be Serenade required for that. Theoretically it could be Serenade required for then Child Spirit as well, but it's certainly a possibility. We definitely need magic, and then we need either long shot or hovers.
Yeah, we got a
crossing the
nice
wasteland.
early lens on the Ocarina minigame.
Let's see where Naestriel heads next. I get the feeling Naestriel will be going across the wasteland as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's currently the most accessible path, and since your very early spheres were so loaded, and Gate has given you so much choice, you want to be following paths at this point.
Proud Spirit could still absolutely have a key, though. Like, while it doesn't have anything like we logically need, well, anyway, like a major item, it still could have keys that we very much need.
Child Spirit is foolish, but a boss key is not a major item.
Halt.
Not with that attitude. Did we have the OOT hint?
Ocarina Time's Serenade.
Serenade, yeah.
We might.
We don't
We
know.
might have a
We
Schrodinger's.
don't know whether the Colossus Warp is on Ocarina Time because we might not have a Colossus Warp.
Yeah.
Joys of required only.
God, this is even worse than Schrodinger's AD.
I know, Fox, but we're dreaming for content. And the happy 1 hour, everybody. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our runners, Chuckles and Naestriel. Go give them a follow. Our
Guys, you know
trackers
the
for today
plans, don't
are Prince Sidon and Vaiva. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Restreamer for today is Tobias. Joining me in the booth today, we got Benjy and Kayla. Thank you guys so much. Veva. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks everybody. Oh, Boomerang. Very nice. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your volunteering, and thanks for putting this on. Oh, and also we do have Purple doing some tracking
No
as
cheat
well.
tracking. Make
Yeah, so no
commentators
cheat.
look like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that boomerang. How
I did miss the
is it's bowlocked on the first couple of checks in GTG?
I'm not trying. My bad, Purple. I just spaced.
How?
So this Ruto's letter is somewhere awkward. I think that's where you were going with Benjy, was it?
Yeah, it was okay. How was our path to Baronade getting us to that?
Yeah, that bow was not locked by anything in those locations, and we had fortress access from the beginning. So every Baronade path we have has to lead to... is it? Yeah, it has to lead to Ruto's Lair. There's nothing else that...
Yeah, so it's Storms is locking something in Well and or in the Grubs Grottos.
So the thing there is that we could be looking at... Probably looking at crossing. Oh no, wait, sorry. Water Temples for Twin Rover, not for Baronade.
Yeah.
So a hook shot on the Song of Storms. I
What do
think
we
we're
have here?
looking at Wasteland Crossing.
Ah, Furores. Very nice. No magic yet, but still nice. Ah. You have awoken Sadie.
Yeah,
Stay with
unfortunately, Wasteland Crossing for the Colossus song and not for the Wasteland chest, Sadie. Because we had Desert Colossus hinted, and I'm pretty sure we did the Great Fairy. I didn't check that. Wasn't paying attention for that. But we know Song of Storms is path to Baronade, and we know Hookshot is path to Baronade. So I would not be surprised to see Hover Boots in the Well. Well's Ruto's Letter. Just need a long shot.
Yeah, because Chuckles has already crossed. They have the Song of Storms, and now they can check. They can do all these checks in the well now, rather than having to age change back child. Although,
Yeah.
uh,
So I definitely would be surprised to see Hover Boots here in the well, because that would open up all of Shadow Temple for the Ruto's Letter possibilities as well.
Still needing that
The thing is-
magic though, unfortunately.
Still need the magic to get there, yes, but it'd line up with the paths.
Yeah, true.
Is GTG before a path water a weird call? In my opinion, no, because you can't do all of Water Temple.
I mean,
If it
basically,
was-
like,
if-
you still have a quick way to Water Temple. So if you're doing, also we do have a scale in well. So if you're doing GTG first, you can just go straight from water, or straight to water from here. So it's not a big deal.
you're still sniffing around for magic, so you're
Yeah.
probably going to be looking for this anyway.
It's good
For all we
density.
know, it's magic in Water Temple, but this is your densest location you have at the moment. The scale in the well.
We also have something here.
So to scale in the well, but unless that's for a lava dive, it doesn't mean anything. Or possibly on the Lake Hylia.
We saw the Ruto,
Could be
the
that.
vanilla Ruto spot. It's a heart container.
Okay. Chuckles enraging the bats.
Why have I never thought to use nuts when they come out of the coffin?
It's very handy, especially if one of them decides to go into the torch and make life difficult for you.
I just never get a key out here.
Deku nuts, best item in the game. Changed my mind.
All right, what do we have here?
They are the most powerful weapon.
Oh, well,
Oh,
that
there's
was easy.
magic.
So Shadow Temple for Ruto's letter is becoming a possibility.
Yeah, more than likely a thing.
One thing to actually,
What else is here? Jesus. Oh, both scales. Let's go.
scales.
Rush lab dive.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, got Lake Hylia path.
Yeah.
So Ruto's letter on lab dive is honestly a very real possibility here for that Lake Hylia path. One thing to note about that magic is that Song of Storm's locked. So unless you have a Requiem warp available, that's a magic locked magic.
Looks like Naestriel's gonna go ahead and do that.
It's not necessarily magic locked. If all dungeons is possible and the Serenade leads to Colossus.
Yeah.
So, Naestriel, while not in logic, might be solving this by coincidence. It's not. Okay.
They're not. No.
I didn't think it was because that's not, at the moment, necessarily hookshot locked.
Well, it
Because they
doesn't
could
matter
just be hover boots
because
somewhere.
it doesn't matter because that's in Lake Hylia. If the item was there, then that fulfills the Lake Hylia path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, but it wouldn't fulfill. But it would mean that we're still umming and ahhing about why the hookshot was path.
Hookshot wouldn't need to be path because the hookshot was in Lake Hylia. If the item was there, then that's the
Oh
path,
right,
the hookshot.
right. Ignore me. Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah, it could basically the hookshot doesn't need to be the path. It could just be there.
I was thinking the
Here
hookshot was at
is
the other path
item.
location.
Here is item number 4. Deep in the back, next to the light like.
Stun.
It's always in the back. If you have a path leading to the well, it's always in the back.
Yep.
Has anyone been counting keys?
Nope.
It doesn't really matter at this point.
Hey, look, our
because
15th bow.
You came in
Cool.
with Zelda's Lullaby, and you came in with multiple bomb bags.
Yeah.
It's just about whether that chest is in. Well, because required only, you might know that actually it's junk.
Yeah.
And required only, you don't really need to count keys in the well because you can't see the last chest outside the basement. So there might be a
Yeah.
key there, might be an item there, you don't know until you check, and at that point you've already gone there.
Alright, Naestriel looking like they're going to clear most of Lake Hylia. Looking for...
Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely.
The only thing this will leave is shoot the sun. Which you
What
can't
is
get without
hovers? We got hovers in Lake.
Okay, Ruto's letter in
Shadow
Shadow
almost
Temple.
confirmed, yeah.
It
Well, not
intensifies.
necessarily, but it's
Not necessarily confirmed, but I'd say almost.
one of the most likely options, anyway.
Nice. A
Here's our
jam
first
in
look at
Water
water.
Temple.
It also makes this water temple dip a lot nicer, because having hovers in here does cut a lot of time. It's just makes the movement so much easier.
And as
There is
just
another magic out there.
yeah, quick boot change also makes this a lot nicer.
Also,
It's not logical crossing, it's logical first step of crossing. We don't know where magic is.
we do know it's in well, but that's out of logic for right now.
That's out of logic until we either get a long shot or
Another magic that was in logic.
yeah.
Because we can't beat Forest yet because we don't have the strength. But we know they're out there somewhere. We can beat Fire, and we can't beat Water because we don't have the long shot. But it's
Well, as
possible that
Benjy
the
said,
magic.
I didn't notice we didn't have strength, but if we get a long shot and a strength, then we can get Water Temple and Fire Temple. And Forest
Yeah.
Temple. So that would get us AD.
It's possible that there isn't another magic out there because of required only. The
Mhm.
other magic could be in Light Trial with Strength 3 also in Light Trial, for example. And it does logically expect you to complete all the stone dungeons to get access to Colossus to get storms. Or there might be a walk to Colossus and there is another magic out there, right? It's one of the foibles of required only.
Yep. And Chuckles is like, I don't have hovers, but who cares? I'm going into Shadow right now.
Yep, you don't really lose that much time by going in without the hovers. Because the front you're going to need to do anyway. The amount of time it loses is about the same amount of time it takes you to play Nocturne, walk into Shadow, and walk to the Truth Spinner. That's the length of time you'd lose by doing this. Which isn't exceptional.
So, yeah, Chuckles doesn't know about hover boots in Lake, so, I mean, literally hover boots could be here for Chuckles, as far as they know.
And that's why you check. One thing to note is that Chuckles isn't really going to miss those hover boots. It would be quite a big misplay to miss them because you do need to go to Water Temple, which means you need to walk through Adult Lake.
And Lake is a path
already a
location
baby
as
hero.
well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yes, we've had Hookshot, which, you might think, okay, this could well be the path, but it's not one of those. This absolutely 100% satisfies the path hint, and obviously the way it works is that an area has more chance of being hinted path if there are multiple path items there.
Yep. Hookshot. Until you find the second hookshot, it's not really something you can count off as a safe bet. If you find your second hookshot in, forest or something, then yeah, you just probably should write it off, but... So that is
There's a
2
reason-
keys.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's a reason people always joke about full clear your paths, because... Oh wow, Naestriel nailed the switch there first try. Yeah, how many times have you seen people leave one check in an area because they've got an item they think is path, and it turns out that the item they actually need is still there.
That's right, hover boots does make this check logical. There's another key.
That's our third key. Third accessible key in the lobby.
What, Kayla, what was the key count to Dark Link? How many keys you need to get to Dark Link?
You need 5 keys for Dark Link, you need 5 keys for the big key chest.
Okay.
I think we've now found all 3 slingshots, by the way, which is blessed relief.
3 slingshots. There's 59.
I mean, yes, there are, but
Also, did, I missed it, but did Chuckles check the storm stratum?
yeah.
Yeah, that's where we just got that last slingshot, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, Valley Scrubs. I was looking over at Naestriel while we were checking that.
Nailing the
32
recoil
seconds
there.
to do this. All
32
right.
seconds, except from when Link takes off his shoes and breathes air out of them, I guess.
Looked like it was just a regular brown chest, so we're good.
And that's definitely something you want to check first. You want to check Lab Dive first in required only, because there is key logic you can work out to determine whether the 5 key lock checks are actually possible, depending on how many keys you find in the central area. Don't ask me how many it is, I don't know that, but it is possible to do. We love spirit key logic, and we love beatable only water key logic.
So if Dark Link is 5 key lock, would that mean that there's nothing this way then? Because we haven't found enough keys.
Entrance haven't been checked.
Does that mean we're strength locked from anything?
I don't know.
Because I know that strength locks Dragon Chest in this instance.
Yeah. It's
And we
unfortunate.
haven't
Without
found a
being
string?
able to check Dragon, you don't get the information about the logic to skip the Dark Link area, but
I mean, it's good to clear it anyway, because again, path here, so regardless of whether you're trying to read the logic or not, that you do know that there's an item you need in here.
It's gonna be on Morpher, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking like it at this point, Benji, so...
it's going to be big key chest because you've already raised the water level.
Yeah.
So big key chest is the last one you're going to go to. You're going to leave, you're going to go find your long shot, and then you're going to do Morpher first because the water's already conveniently high. I didn't realize Dark Link's... yeah, that makes sense. Dark Link's voice
Yeah, it pitch
carries
shifts
over
as well.
whatever your voice pack was.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The scream is great.
You can
Yeah,
do
you
big
can
key
do...
chest recovered long
Yeah,
shot.
but we've already spent keys, unfortunately.
You don't need to save. Just scum away the keys if you don't find anything.
Yeah. Junkin River Chest. Yeah, I don't think anything's this way.
There's something to say is that since Chuckles has dipped the well first and has done the Boulder Destiny, he will be able to clear all of Shadow Temple after this.
Okay, there's a key in Dragon Chest, so that's strength locked.
Yeah.
So that would mean...
Yeah.
What
big
is
key.
Morpha and
Have something.
BK? And that's it, right?
Central Pillar?
We
We
checked
checked
Central
Central
Pillar was a brown chest.
Just checking.
It was just gross. Logically need a long shot to get the BK chest here, but the long shot's just sitting out there somewhere.
So this could be strength 2.
Yeah.
With that key in Dragon Chest.
I saw Ikola do a trick here where you get speed by side hopping twice. 2 rolls and then hover boots gainer to get over this. But it's really precise.
What you do is you backwalk for the speed, and then you ram your face into the spikes 14 times, and then do it. That's my experience.
Just face tank the spikes until it works.
See, my experience is you just ignore it until you get long shot.
But there could be something
Jeez,
important.
Bill.
Oh, nice gainer. Nice, well done, my
Build the
Naestriel.
logic follower.
Love that front flip.
It is good. Can't do it, but it is good.
I can
Might as well
appreciate the
pick up a
aesthetics
skull
of
here.
it.
Yeah, might as well just pick up a skull. Which doesn't look like we're going to.
Are we hard long shot locked? I can't see.
There's the key.
Looks like
Doesn't
we
look
are.
like it. Oh, yeah. Hard long shot lock, yeah.
Our hard long shot locked because we have found nothing.
And this is why, when we said, yeah, I can see why you dip GTG or do other stuff first, because you're not necessarily going to be able to get the item in Water Temple. Ta-da!
Can we check Sacred
I-
Force
I said-
scrubs yet?
I said that, but
No.
I would also say that I would have been in Water Temple significantly before this, so I'd have been burnt anyway.
I feel like Longshot is on Sacred Force Meadow scrubs for some reason.
We haven't checked it. It's highly possible.
The thing is, Chuckles has the ability to do Shadow Temple, and if Ruto's letter is in there, as we suspect, he hasn't gone to Training Grounds yet, so doesn't have that boomerang.
Yeah.
And I know Training Grounds is very easily accessible with that Fortress Warp, but he's got a decent amount of stuff he can do. When do you look that in?
If you've got progression available, normally you'd get that done because you're
you
never
power
going to
through
lose.
Shadow.
Yeah, you're never going to lose time doing progression. I mean, especially somewhere like Shadow, where, what are you going to get that can speed it up? Maybe FW a little bit, but otherwise not massively.
The only thing you don't have for Shadow completion is the strength, and you can skip that. I need to learn how to do that trick. I need to learn how to do the peak. One I've never been able to pull off. Oh. Naestriel almost getting duked by the Z targeting on the lever.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing feels worse than getting to the end of Naked Wasteland and then trying to backwalk, Z targeting the lever, and going off at 90-degree angle into the death plane. So once again, they will be crossing each other's footsteps here.
Yeah, Chuckles has cleared out a bit more just because of picking up storms earlier. Chuckles is out.
Picking up storms earlier, picking up the hook shot earlier. the yeah, a lot of this difference has just come down to Chuckles having a slightly better money management in the first Child 1.
Really good music on Naestriel side.
Same with Roar's Wind and no magic when it's reasonable to think magic is soon. Eh. Honestly, I think I would cross Colossus anyway, just for the likelihood that it was going to be storms. Give you an extra 14 checks. Yeah,
And
we've
that's still
checked
doing an
everything in
exchange.
water that. Yeah, we've checked everything in water that isn't Morpha, and there were no major items, so not even like there was anything that could be bait.
Yep, long shot locked.
Really, there's a lot of places that long shot could be. Right now,
Yeah.
a distinct possibility is Shadow Temple.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think
If
that's
there's
all.
another
I mean,
if there's another magic out there, then it could well be Shadow Temple.
I can't see Chuckles not going Shadow Temple. We know that already he was thinking about dipping there, and then decided, actually, you know what, I will full clear it. But at least as much as
Now
possible.
you absolutely can. So I mean,
Dip stones, then cross twice. Colossus wasn't hinted path, I'd agree with you, but Naestriel will be picking up that magic. Unfortunately, will still not be able to get into Shadow Temple, even with that magic. Still needs to pick up the Din's Fire in Hyrule Field.
Oh yeah, it's the Boulder of Destiny, isn't it?
Boulder of Destiny.
Boulder.
Which, for
Also,
those not in the know,
right. Yeah.
it's the near market grotto.
Yeah. Chuckles looped that in right at the start of Adult 1. Took the hammer over there before Adult before. I don't even remember where he went after that, but did it right at the start.
And Chuckles does have dens, just doesn't have heroes.
Yeah. No, it's Naestriel that doesn't have pins.
Yep.
Are you back, Ham Ham?
Naestriel will not be able to do Shadow after picking up magic here in the well. Really, I mean, there's two real things Chuckles can do after getting nothing from Water Temple. There's Training Grounds and there's Shadow. And Shadow is a medallion, so...
Oh man, I love that boomerang strat.
As Purple says in chat, Shadow, you do it. Whether it's logical, whether it's not logical, just do it.
Yeah, it's
30. It's
very long dungeon.
It's 12 items. It's progress.
At the very least, it gets you some thinking time. But yeah, you know, you're not really going to be able to speed it up. It takes as long as it takes. So you may as well do it while you can, because who knows? Your items just might be in there. Like,
As chat says, we have the Start Stonefire too. We do. That's the unpleasant option because there is no Bolero or seed.
Yeah.
Oh, the fastest way to get to Bolero is to warp to Sacred Forest Meadow and then walk.
So what's happened is it's a feminine voice. It's been pitch shifted higher, so that's what you're hearing. It's one of the accessibility options to change your voice from masculine to feminine.
Yeah, I think it
It's
came
really fun.
in version 7 of the randomizer. I thought rather than it being pitch shifted, they'd actually got someone to record the vocals for it, but I could be wrong.
I don't know actually. I've just always thought pitch shifted, but you could be right, yeah.
They're different voice files, I believe, so I'd expect them to be different rather than just pitch shifted.
But especially
Maybe
because,
Practiced it.
yeah, especially because with custom models becoming legal, it was like, this actually, this dovetails really nicely with that.
Big test. I think it was the boss key. I think it was. I could only see the yellow bit in the middle. It was either a Triforce symbol or the middle of a boss key chest. Yeah, it was the boss key. We have 2 small keys and 1 boss key already, so we can already tell that it's a perfect go mode shadow. And the reason it's a perfect go mode shadow is because we're not in go mode, so we need to do it all anyway. Never get to skip the back.
No.
What's your preferred strategy for this corridor, hallway? Are you one of these people who does what Chuckles does and goes with the bow or the hook shot? Do you just nut your way down, or do you like getting a nice Din's fire in early?
I feel like
Depends
I
how
used to be
mine
dense
usually
fire,
go.
but it feels like dense fire can be slower sometimes. So I just go with bow or hook.
I like going for the hipster choice, which is using the long shot on the little wooden struts on the wall. Unfortunately, I can't aim, so it's slower.
See, I can't aim, and that's why I like going for the Din's fire, because it's like I can get you out of the way now and just not think about it.
Chuckles resuming the skull hunt.
Did he check the other chest?
They're
He
not?
did not.
Oh. That
Enjoy.
could be a problem.
Especially considering we're thinking there's an item in here. Oh, Jimbo. Jimbo rubbing his hands with glee here.
If you can't see the chest, it can't hurt you. Until it does.
Naestriel looks like we're gonna be pushing the Storm's path even further.
I like it.
I think Chuckles has just worked out that. Oh wait, did I get the skull and then just naff off? And that is exactly what he did.
And
Looks like we're gonna do a little bit of
unfortunately,
backtracking.
does not have the Furor's Wind either.
Never lucky.
Unfortunate. Alright, we're going back to
Dig hole.
Keen's Void. Yeah.
Honestly,
Unfortunately, again,
smart.
Naestriel getting uked out of scrubs here with the lack of money. Luckily,
Oh, yeah.
they do have child song. They do have child songs. So you can pick up 50 rupees.
It's okay, chat. They galaxy brained it. It's okay. They skipped it because they knew. Jimbo's race of horse display. Oh man.
Choo! In addition to the chews that are just on that ledge up there as well. You want chews, you come to river apparently.
And here's what I was saying, you get 50 rupees per child song on the scrubs. So that's plenty enough to get these 2 scrubs in the Storm's Grotto at the bottom.
How long before Chuckles just equips the lens?
Oh, the other option. By far the slower option, in my opinion.
Don't
Unless you
forget
actually
your
do it
sacred
right,
forest
like
meadow
Chuckles
scrubs.
did there.
Don't forget SFM.
Yeah, but going river first makes sense because it's 3 storms checks instead of 2.
Plus
The
just
race
the other
has
couple of
been-
checks.
The race was a tale of 2 halves. Absolutely stacked first hour. The Sphere Zero scrubs had hookshot, hammer, bow, a bottle.
Somebody weirdos, yeah. Oh,
Mirror
a string.
Mirror shield and bombs were Sphere 1. So there's a strength. And that is a potential strength 1 location.
Yeah, logically we still can't be in shadow right now. Logically. So, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow is out of logic at the moment because we don't have a logical magic in.
Don't we have a command for this sort of thing? Ah, yeah, there we go.
We have got things out of logic here. I think that we're not going to get much out of it
Yeah.
because each thing we've managed to skip so far, we're kind of getting led back round to needing to pick it up logically anyway.
Alright, and sure gonna pick up Dens. Double shadow incoming? Question mark? No.
After an age change, absolutely, I could see it.
Yep. Naestriel now picking up the Din's fire. Unfortunately, as a child, so can't just immediately go shadow themselves, but unless they are going to. Yes, looks like they are going to. Which makes sense. 12 items, progress. It's worth the extra minute for the age change. And
I don't know if I've ever seen
are
a major
spaces.
item in that chest.
Which one?
The one under that pile there that you blow up.
Oh, I get it all the time. You know when I especially get it? Don't have bombs.
Sounds like a you problem.
I route perfectly. The game's problem if the spots aren't there. Yeah, we're going to the back of the shadow for keys anyway. So, even if we were in go mode, we weren't getting away with it.
Yep, here's double shadow.
Not for long.
Don't worry, Chuckles is gonna fall off the boat.
If you are Chuckles, where do you go that isn't training grounds? The answer is not really anywhere.
You go trading grounds.
You just full clear forest. It's okay.
That is another
Frost.
option. Fire's another option.
That is an option.
I mean, you could
Honestly,
see how deep in forest you can go since it's required only. Could tell you whether
Yeah.
it's all dungeons or not.
That's true.
Fire is probably the better option since more of it is in logic.
I mean, with fire, you could also see how far you could go, because you might be able to go very far in fire either.
Yeah, 4 is the faster option with the warp song though, so.
True.
But if you are looking for a possible long shot, the long shot so far is probably going to be relatively early.
Well, you know, it's just here in the back of Shadow.
Yeah, it's either a magic or a long shot that's early, although that is a big chest here in the Bosky chest.
You could see that?
Forest is out of logic? Shouldn't be.
The ice arrows. Chuckles, spiders, and blue fire arrows. That's why
Because we have to get to Morpha Fox. Because we still haven't fulfilled a path in water.
Yeah. We have path water, and we have found 0 major items in water.
Here's a question.
Yep.
Do you equip the ice arrows here?
For meme's sake, yes.
I do not, because I haven't done Ice Arrow Bongo, so I don't know how to... I don't know where his eye goes. If you do Ice Arrow Bongo perfectly, you lose about... It's measured in fractions of seconds from a perfect regular bongo. I mean,
You win that.
Yeah, you win the hearts of chat.
Exactly.
And what's really worthwhile in random? Is it things like times and wins, or is it the hearts you win in the journey?
Could have been a contender. You could have been somebody.
Perfect Ice Arrow Bongo is slightly slower than a perfect non-Ice Arrow Bongo. There's timings on YouTube showing it.
But it's much, much funnier.
Yeah. It's either a long shot and a strength out in the world, or another magic. Those are only 2 ways to the Colossus. Get that song storms. It wasn't true, it's okay. The first one to have made it. Win the race. Strength 1 on Morpha? Could well be.
Yep.
Certainly an option. Likely option. Because there's only so many items we need for... I mean, for all we know, it's first magic on Morpha.
Yeah.
Also, not the smoothest bongo from Chuckles, but got the job done. Evidently needs to find a better song at 150 beats per minute to pick. Today's choice is Banquet by Block Party.
I'll get that up on YouTube after the stream.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's... You've got a choice of 2 items I can see that can be on Morpha. It's Strength 1, or it's Magic.
We have
Yep,
not
if
seen
it's
this
first
yet.
Magic, we need to resolve storms, but there's still Sacred Forest Meadow scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Chuckles is going.
If it is here, he has saved some time by skipping the river. River storms checks. I've only seen Naestriel.
Well, it also means he
Oh, that
doesn't
one.
go into GTG.
There it is.
And there's our long
On
shot.
cue.
Okay.
And here comes our logic.
Yep, and I am distinctly seeing the possibility of us picking up magic more for now. Now that we know, no, it must be strength 1 because
Yeah,
that's
it has to be. That's why I'm saying
lost.
logic.
Yeah, it's a crossing locked long shot. So we're gonna see strength 1 on Morpha.
Don't you love it when a plan comes together?
Yep, there's a magic somewhere. A young girl's heart.
There's also a letter somewhere, by the way. No sign of that.
Well, with the hook shot there, the long shot leading to our... Hold on, let me get my words out. We've got a long shot leading to Morpha. We've got Morpha is path to Twin Rover. We're going to see... probably going to see Rooted Lanterns, Adult Spirit.
No, we're not.
Yes,
Spirit's foolish.
Spirit's foolish.
Oh, Spirit's
so-
Foolish. Okay, we'll see it in Training Grounds.
I mean, there's a chance that it's just on Morpha, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's.
Baronade. It's long shot locked, yes, which means that our Twin Rover and Baronade paths are probably about to collide in about 45 seconds.
I don't know. I think the cutscene alone is 45 seconds.
But we've got about 3 possibilities that Morpha can be, and there's no point trying to determine logical implications until we actually kill this thing.
Yeah.
But that's the fun bit.
Kill the squishy.
Morpha, what are you doing, mate?
That wasn't even the hitbox problem. Chuckles just didn't hit. There we go. Fine. You catch it when it's moving as opposed to when it's not moving. Splish. It could be latter, it could be strength 1. Those are the 2 most likely options. Letter's probably the more likely option because that opens up more game. It's more likely that letter locks strength 2 than strength 2 locks letter.
So we do shoot the sun, too, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is just shoot the sun.
Oh,
Yeah,
good call. Solid call. Alright, so that's more logic.
So.
So that's
I think
our
we're gonna see
little path.
I think we're going to see an ice from Chuckles.
You think you do ice before GTG?
100%.
Yeah, you're chasing paths. You could use the denser location, but ice is where you're being pointed at.
How did Chuckles even see what that was?
With their eyes.
Same way you saw that chest in Shadow Temple.
Everyone knows you shouldn't look directly into the sun, it's dangerous. This is Chuckles going ice.
Yeah. And, I mean, it makes perfect sense in the position he's in. I've said it a couple of times so far. With such a... and Sphere 0 and Sphere 1, the paths are going to be the most useful thing for you because so much of the game becomes available so quickly. want to limit as many locations as you can. You don't want to be playing density.
Depending on what's here in ice, that's a... Excuse me. Well, it's only 10 to 9. That's a potential opportunity for Naestriel to make up some time if they pick up Rito and think, well, now I've got progression in Jabu, so I'll just do that now.
Well, the thing is, the most likely thing that's going to be in ice is Strength 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirit's foolish, so Strength 2 pushes you to Training Grounds.
Purple, I think it saves a trip here. If you just go ahead and do Ice Cavern now.
Jabu doesn't have Boomerang and doesn't have Furor's Wind either.
Hmm.
You don't get Furor's Wind until you go into Training Grounds. You need to ask the Boomerang to get to Furor's Wind.
So it's a good chance that Chuckles just never gets it.
Generally speaking, though, I don't think Chuckles will lose time here.
No.
Because after Ice, you go to Training Grounds. And Naestriel's probably going to do Ice. The only way Naestriel saves time here is if Strength 2 is in Jabu and not in Ice.
Yeah. Which there's only...
Otherwise, they're both going to be needing to do both of these locations, and they're just going to do it in the opposite order.
Technically, there's more... There's the same number of... Is that an eyeball frog?
On the river ledge.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see. I was expecting him to hover in the main personally, so I thought that was very
Yeah, we did get a big Goron hint earlier, so probably didn't grab it because don't need it.
I'm putting it in there.
You could take that frog and then do a frog warp. Get to ice.
You could do.
True.
It's a dead Pierre. Unless you want an extra fairy. And
the
rank
rank chest
chest
instead.
dead, so that's the only reason you might have pushed Jabu without a boomerang. Fun.
There's a scrub. Oh, a very small cat has just walked in.
Do you know the cat?
Oh yeah. It's our little
Okay.
foster. Hello, Beanie.
I mean, the way you described it didn't make it sound like you knew who the cat was. Not quite getting the side hop there.
I feel like it's a common occurrence for a cat to enter a house that is not theirs. So it is a fair question.
I don't think I've ever seen it for us, actually. We've got quite a high-walled back garden, and we don't have a cat flap.
Neighbour Spaniel used to walk in our house. We decided to jump over the fence.
Our cats are not going to be jumping over fences.
Oh, if Strength 2 is in the fountain, it's very likely it's going to be in the adult side of things, just on a sheer density basis. We have 3 checks in... Well, technically 4 checks in child, but one of them is shared. So 3 checks are child only, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 can be got as adult. There are 4 checks in child, but one of them's already been hinted.
Morgan, do we have all 3 foolish? I might have missed that.
Domain, Market,
Yes.
Spirit. Yeah.
What was the one after the first one you said?
Market?
Oh, domain. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, market domain. Yeah.
We're
I
just
think
gonna
where
get
I
out
had
the
to excuse
iceberg.
myself.
We'll notice that visibility in Zor's Fountain is nice and clear today. Because we killed a water demon on the other side of the world.
That's true.
For some reason, that stops it snowing on the other side of the world.
Not really the other side of the world.
I mean, I never really understood why Morpha, the water demon, makes Zor's domain snow.
Magic.
Wouldn't you think an ice demon would do that?
Magic.
El Nino.
Sometimes since you expect, I believe it's 7.
Yes.
Oh no, it'll be 6 because we've got a scrub always.
Yeah.
It'll be 6 in scrub settings.
What do we got down there?
Scrub and cow seeds we have 6.
Is that a blue rupee?
I think it's a rupee.
Yeah.
Or we have 5 if we have scrubs and cows.
I've not seen enough cows, to be honest.
I lived in the borders, so there were lots of cows.
Mm.
Hylian cow is an interesting beast, though. It lives underground like a mole.
And it
You think about
talks.
it, the only 2 wild cows we get are both living underground.
Yeah, all the others are kept. Yeah.
Yep, even if it's not an ice, it should lead him back to Fortress because it's Epona's song. But, honestly, even if Epona's wasn't here, not because of location, I know the warp goes there, but there's horseback archery that would push you to Fortress, but the fact that the only remaining easily accessible dense location is training grounds,
Yeah.
we're gonna go there whether it's Epona's or not.
Yeah, you've got forest, but you've no idea how much of forest you can actually do because of required only.
You've got
Nothing in
Forest,
that
which is
yet.
you've got Forest, which is a maximum of 8 items, and that's if you can fully complete the dungeon, or the other word I'm looking for, or Training Grounds, which is 13 items in total, and 4 of them you can't reach. 4 checks you can't reach. So you're probably looking at around 11 items you can pick up in Training Grounds.
Yep, we do have somebody who's dipping forest right now. Going further
Yep.
than Chuckles did.
Chuckles picked up the bottle and then decided they were out of here.
Yeah. Good call. Who wants to be in forest? I don't.
I do, because that's where my items always are.
Yeah, I mean, if Strength 2's here. Can't see
So
why
far,
it would be, but
So far, Ice Cavern's been nada.
yeah, first magic could be here. Decent bet.
Rudo's letter isn't magic locked. No, I don't think so.
One of the world
It-
magic is, I would say confirmed magic locked, because you need to cross the wasteland to get long shot, and you need the long shot to get
Oh yeah, long shot
Serenade.
was magic locked. Yeah, so
So if Serenade is your way to the Colossus, then it's magic locked.
Chuckles, just push the block.
there was
Huge
a
big one. Is our magic?
no. It's the Pebble of Pain.
Guess our magic's in the grotto. And funnily enough, after pushing it quite hard early, looks like Naestriel's going to be the first to 20 skulls, even though Chuckles was pushing it so early.
Yep.
Naestriel doesn't have a long shot.
They do not.
Yeah, which means they walked past the scrub grotto to get into forest.
I guess they figured there's just more checks in forest, right? But given the storm's path,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
pause.
looking somewhat stacked. Is it more bait? Is it Nehru's?
Oh.
Is it light arrows?
So we will have to come here.
We will have to come here. I don't think Naestriel is going to be saving that much time on Chuckles.
Also, happy 2 hours, everybody.
Yep,
Let's
happy
go
2
ahead and
hours.
give.
Bias, can you do the thing, please?
Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our runners who are doing a great job right now. We have Chuckles and Naestriel. Our trackers for this evening are we have Ava, Prince, Sidon, and Purple. Thank you guys. Joining me in the booth today we have Kalo and Benji. Our restreamer for today is Tobias. Thank you for Tobias, and yeah. It's been a fun time. Good seed.
Yeah,
Thanks as well,
and
Sky.
unfortunately, that is a big issue there, as Naestriel does seem to have skipped that long shot. Or
Yeah,
mindballed it.
I think they kind of forgot that grotto exists, possibly.
Yeah, Naestriel was the player who selected scrubs, so you'd think that they would know where all the scrub grottos are. But yeah, as you mentioned, maybe just completely memory hold it. They will get
They'd be
prelude.
far from the first one to have been feasted by their own petard, as Shakespeare
Yeah.
says.
They will pick up prelude when they cross the bridge,
Oh, yeah,
and
no, really.
and that will get them easy access back to SFM if they remember.
Yeah.
So that actually, I need to do those. Also, chat correctly pointed out that that there absolutely does have to be a magic out there, because which we knew anyway, because you can't get far in Forest Temple.
And that is our strength 2, which is ice locked, which is letter locked.
Mm.
Bonus song, horseback archery. Now, is Chuckles gonna go into training grounds? I think you do, because now with the strength 2, you can do it all.
We're still not in logic.
Turn line logic, woo!
Logic is not an option today.
And it looks like he is going to training grounds now, so this is looking
There's-
very good for Chuckles.
Yeah, this is.
There's gotta be a magic in training grounds or something. I don't know.
There's a magic fire. It's the only major location left.
Yeah, the only
Stone
checks
fire
in
for
G.
that.
I was going to say the only checks in GTG we haven't seen are the Strength 2 ones, and Strength 2 is long shot locked because you need Ruto's letter to get to ice, or it's in the toilet and lol, Lamau.
And Chuckles is straight out. Makes sense. Is that glow mode? I believe that's glow mode.
That is glow mode, and we know where light arrows are. So at this point,
Naestriel
it's
is not going to be saving much time on those light arrows. That's a very quickly accessible light. Doesn't even need an
Yeah,
exchange.
absolutely.
Got a warp song to get right next to the dungeon, and you third check you go in.
Yeah, he's already done the first one. Oh yeah, I see what you mean now. Ignore me.
Hasn't picked up Furor's Wind. Doesn't matter. I don't think. Like I'm saying, even with the lack of Furor's Wind to set in Gan's castle, that's what, the minute and a quarter or something to climb up an empty tower.
So Chuckles hasn't seen this yet, but they might suspect it. That required only. We haven't seen the other match. Oh, we are seeing Wasteland. Someone ping saying
Ready?
that Chuckles might think, well, hang on a minute. Seeing how the items are laid out, I'm pretty sure that AD is actually off the table, so I don't need to worry about pushing that C to get a boss key in Child Spirit. I can just zip through as adult, and hopefully everything should be on the path. And if everything's not on the path, then we fucked up somewhere.
I mean, for all we know, there still is a. For all we know, Bolero does lead to the Requiem path.
Yeah.
We can't get that until we've beaten Spirit. So
yeah. We didn't actually check Wasteland. We didn't check Wasteland because there was nothing there. The objectively correct play of not checking Wasteland chests either.
yeet.
It has to be a key in Spirit, Adult Spirit.
Yeah, 100%.
Child Spirit's inaccessible until you've beaten Spirit. If it's accessible at all. Well, I mean, there's only 2 non-adult accessible checks. If you have 1 key on adult side, unless the boss key is in Child Spirit, you can complete the dungeon. There isn't a key layout where you can climb adult spirits. There isn't a layout where there is a key on lower adult side, and you get small key locked.
Ah, but can you logically complete it?
No. Funnily enough, I made a handy-dandy Spirit Key Logic map that I haven't finished yet, so haven't posted.
See, I see your no, and I raise you. Who cares?
Correct indeed.
This is until at least I start my logic-only tournament.
I mean, the thing is, we know there's no key on child side.
Unfortunate. Naestriel's going into fire again.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, that's sorry.
That grotto's out of sight, out of mind at this point.
Yeah.
I can say there is no key on child side because the Spirit Key Logic still applies in Beetle only because it's required dungeon. So the only way it would be, it doesn't matter that Child Spirit is not accessible. There isn't a key there.
Because, yeah, it is possible even in required only for you to be an idiot and logically lock yourself out.
Spirit Key Logic is immutable. It does not care about the nuances of your seed. It is always what is.
What if it's no logic?
I mean, if it's fully no logic, then yeah, the keys are anywhere. At which point there is no Spirit Key Logic. It doesn't exist.
See, we know that this big chest is bait.
Yeah, it's
And
slingshot,
yet-
totally. Oh, no. Okay, that's free.
It's nice to have.
That's
Yeah.
why you
Speeds
open
up
it.
your Twin Rover. Speeds up your Ganon. Oh, it's the Ganondorf.
in that scenario,
Honestly, there isn't that much bait left in the game. There's one bomb bag, I think.
Come on, Naestriel, remember Sacred Forest Meadow.
that's exactly the check that you're looking for in that situation.
Come on,
right?
buddy. Where the hell is
Big Orange Ball
magic?
is the only
Who
thing that
cares?
helps you.
Nobody cares about magic anymore. We're glow mode. You care?
Just thinking of what's not.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Trying to think.
Where was the strength we did find? Shadow.
Shadow.
Yeah. Which is magic locked.
Yeah.
And then the other
So
strength we found is technically magic locked.
So it's not higher in fire then, because that's strength locked.
I think
Oh,
it was
it's
key lock out of
probably-
fire too.
It'll be Southern Field. We haven't seen Southern Field, have we?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Remote Grotto, most likely.
Toilet?
Yep. Toilet,
Oh yeah, and 20
stalls,
stalls,
and I
yeah.
don't think we've seen the 3 checks in Southfield.
We also haven't seen that fairy fountain or the one at the top of DMT.
The only other things left in training grounds are strength locked, so
Or toilet?
yeah. Cirrus has mentioned toilet in chat. Said,
Oh.
not sure what else is left in training grounds. The answer is nothing. Toilet or nada. Yeah, I can think of 5 checks left in logic. Not that it matters to Chuckles, as he is in glow mode. And depending on how long Chuckles takes to go through Jabu and then to Forest, we may see Naestriel pick up that first magic.
Did we
Yeah.
see the DMT Storms Grotto? The DMT Storms Grotto?
We have not, but that is magic locked.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. Like
That's the
most
thing,
of the
we've got a lot of checks left in the world, just none of them in logic. There's only 5 of them that we can actually get to with intended items.
Is this... No, he's got a warp song, so he'd... Unless he hasn't played Prelude, so he doesn't know that it's a warp song yet.
I don't
Well, he
think
knows
they
it's a
ever
warp
played
song,
Prelude.
but he doesn't know
We
where it
know
warps
it's a
to.
warp song. Is Prelude a warp
Yeah.
song?
I mean, he doesn't know where it warps to, but I think
I
this
know,
is
I know.
Naestriel remembering.
Yeah, it was Chuckles who was playing the song immediately
Yeah.
each time he picked one up.
And this is interesting because this, I think even if Naestriel did do this the first time he went into Forest, I feel like Chuckles probably still has the edge. But it'll feel especially frustrating for Naestriel if this check has undone him, given that
Yeah.
he picked Scrubs and also picked random warp songs.
Yeah.
If I'm Naestriel and I pick up Long Shot and then Letter, I probably go Jabu first. I've got Boomerang. I take the probability that I might have to do a second age change to go to Ice, in the hopes that my Strength 2 just shows up in progress. The Chuckles not having Boomerang probably would have worked out better for him as well. That is Naestriel back on the path. Not in logic, but back on the path. It must feel bad, and it always feels bad, especially when it's your own setting.
Yeah.
Horseback archery is super hard for Naestriel to get back to. I wouldn't say so, because once you've done ice and got Epona's song, you go to horseback archery anyway because you've exhausted your letter checks. It's a set. I don't think I've ever seen two people do the same setup for checking the crate with a chief. You've
No.
ever seen anyone do the same strat?
I managed to eyeball it once.
That your strat?
Honestly, it's the most I've ever gamed. Unbelievable. I felt like Dastar doing Benjy bowling.
A gamer moment for the history books.
Is this 20 from Chuckles?
No, I'll be walking straight past. Go.
Wait, are they
Chuckles
walking
has
to
forgotten
Temple of
its-
Time?
We
I think
don't have a
Chuckles
warp
has
there.
forgotten its vanilla spawn.
Are they?
This is the second time he's walked to Temple of Time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like...
What? Alright. I mean, like,
He's
like
just
sticking
setting
the
up
scenic
bait.
routes.
He's baiting Jimbo. That's what it is. He knows Jimbo's watching.
Did we just bring Jimbo in here for the interview?
Wow, he really gave it to me in there.
Listen, sometimes you like taking the scenic route, even if it's slower.
I hate doing that room in Water Temple without the hover boots. Fails for me every time.
I hate doing every room in Water Temple, with or without the hover boots.
For anyone who doesn't know, walking up slidey slopes in Ocarina of Time is easier with the hover boots on.
Yep.
It also allows you to roll while on the slidey slope, so you can roll up that final room of Water Temple. Half the remaining logical checks are skulls. I don't think so. There's still South Field, so 1/5 of the remaining logical checks are skulls.
Yeah. That could be the case, Failnog, but we've seen him hit the reset button at least twice this seed.
Also, Chuckles is, like me and Benjy, UK based, so it wouldn't be under Doritos and Mountain Dew, it would be Pringles and Tennants, I guess.
I mean, you can definitely get Doritos and Mountain Dew in the UK.
Chuckles strikes me as a Tennants guy, though.
Yeah, we're just people of taste, so we wouldn't.
I've seen pictures of Chuckles in a spoon. He's not paying the extra in a spoons. He's not paying the extra money for Mountain Dew.
No, also I knew Chuckles in a previous life, and I'm pretty sure that we drank whatever the cheapest beer at the student union was.
Oh, a student union Jaeger bomb, Messerschmitt and Shark Energy.
I mean, that absolutely was not the cheapest thing.
Oh, that was £1 at my student union.
Oh my god, that is death.
Oh yeah, I had to wake up in the morning. I know it was death. And yes, you were right. That is an eyeball frog.
Ribbit.
Fortunately,
Any hash frogs
in a
together?
poor location for any frog warping activities.
Abu likes fish. Never forget. That being said, I will always forget.
Yeah, I forget to get the fish about 66% of the time. 2 and 3 of the times I will walk through the door to Fountain and then go, oh yeah.
I think for me it's either 50-50. Like, either I get the fish or I don't.
Double
Feel like-
Jabu is incoming soon, yeah.
I was going to say, do you want to turn in that letter?
I think this is generally as fast as warp into SFM. Yeah. I mean, you can't chicken your way and you have to do the Zelda's Lullaby cutscene. I think it's that different. You've got 2 reloading zones. Yeah, more walking in Naestriel's trip, but 1 less loading zone and 1 less Zelda's Lullaby cutscene. That might actually be a faster route. These are the fun discussions that come out of random warp songs.
I like random warp songs. I've been converted to it, I think, in S7.
As far as I'm aware, Naestriel still hasn't played Prelude, so doesn't know we have a SFM warp.
It's like random spawns, just with a bit more spice.
Drowning the bugs. Boo.
No, they're pond skaters. Look, they're like little Surskit. Ah.
Double Jabu. Something you often see, Double Jabu.
No.
In practice, it's as boring as Double Shadow or Forest, but
I feel like it's as boring as Double Shadow or Double Forest in reality as well.
we will see. We will see from Naestriel. And we are seeing from Chuckles too. Yeah, actually, no, this makes 100% sense to
Chuckles
this
doesn't have
as
light
Chuckles.
arrows. Yeah, the last thing you want is to have to age change again and then age change
Yeah,
back.
you don't want
Especially
to.
with
You
no
don't want to go
FW.
mode Jabu, because that is
Mm,
this scrub having light arrows would be basically the worst case scenario outside of
yeah.
a logical location. It would be the furthest away location. We will save. I don't actually know how much time Frozwind strats in Jabu saves. And Astrol won't go mode this, definitely not because of strength. And Jabu is one of the locations that could be pointed to by the Twin Rover paths. For all we know,
Yeah, that
Strength
was-
3's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Twin Rover
Sure.
path was water to Twin Rover, and the only item in water was Ruto's letter. So
It's not necessarily that Strength 2 is letter locked. It could be 2 strengths are Ruto's letter locked.
and that's why you've had Ruto's letter hinted, rather than one of those strengths because they're both equally in logic.
Exactly.
Letter did lead to horse. That is
Yeah,
true.
the Strength 2 and Horseback Archery is definitely
The path.
definitely explains a path. Itself is not necessarily required if there's another letter locked strength. Right. There's one more check in Jabu. As far as places Strength 3 could be, it's most likely accessible, Strength 3. Quite unlikely to be completely inaccessible.
This is aliens from Majora's Mask. Aliens Invasion. but it gets interrupted by monster music, which I turn off because if I'm
Yeah, I
jamming,
always disable it.
that makes me mad.
Also because if the battle music has an intro,
Yeah.
then it just repeatedly plays the intro over and over. You never actually get
Yeah.
into the song.
It's wild. Also, while we just briefly mentioned Majora's Mask, like Termina compared to Hyrule, absolute. I mean, anything goes.
We didn't see the frog until Chuckles first came through. So, Naestriel stopped after the storms checks in River. So they'll be going to the boomerang chest. Didn't get the hint about the boomerang chest. The time they're saving with the Furor's Wind, they're going to be losing by doing the boomerang.
Yeah.
But why Princess Ruta?
Belongs to her. I never understood that line. Called the Zora Sapphire. She is the princess of the Zora.
Not much to say at this point outside of speculating where magic is.
Yeah, and I think we've exhausted the locations magic can be. We're just
Yeah.
never gonna see it.
Yeah. Toilet? Is toilet the only thing we have left?
Toilet Southfield.
Southfield and 20.
Huh?
Toilet, Southfield and 20 skulls.
Southfield 20 skull. Yeah.
Because for all we know, it's a
Yeah.
Sphere Zero. Sphere Zero magic on the open grotto.
Yeah.
Which would be funny
And
after all of this logic discussion if it's Sphere Zero.
I'm pretty sure that Naestriel, after Jabu, will just age change and go to ice to follow up that letter.
Yeah.
Naestriel's one item from Go.
I swear we saw open
Ooh.
grotto, but I don't remember anymore.
A bit fast? Oh, no, it wasn't.
Good execution by Chuckles.
Did you use the Furor's Wind here for Naestriel?
I
Unfortunately, again, didn't have the money for the scrub the first time around.
think that's why they said it.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Here's our bioelectric enemy.
Bioelectric and enemy.
And oh, rarely see the electric block the boomerang, but it's over.
Yeah. Doesn't really make sense, all things considered. But
You know your
It is what it
Pokemon
is.
type charts.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's true.
boomerang beats.
Electric does beat boomerang.
Yeah. A
Don't know if we
Pokemon
saw
type just being boomerang. Alright, and Chuckles does have Water Medallion, and we'll be getting that hint. It would be Forest Temple, and then Chuckles will be like, uh-oh, how deep in Forest Temple? Not to worry, my friend, not very.
And the thing, you see Forest Temple, then obviously you're like, how much longer is the seed going to take? But it's, it's one of those things where it'll take as long as it takes. You've just got to do it. It won't be in it's not like, am I going to do this in the optimal way? Because it's Forest Temple, you just have to do it. in the way
Not
that it's
losing
done.
time over your opponent. Your
Yeah,
opponent
and at
needs
any
to do
rate,
the exact same amount of forest as you do.
yeah, Chuckles knows that with required only, it's got a better chance of being earlier in forest.
Technically, no. The light arrows are placed first.
What, in front of everything else in the seed?
Believe so. Might be wrong on that one. That's how it works. I think the light arrows has the same amount of chance of being placed on every check in the game.
And why are they always in locations that I hate?
Just a
Oh,
little early.
that's just spite. That's just spite.
Too early. You got to be a little patient.
Yeah. It's easy to say when you're not 2 hours 30 minutes into a
Yeah.
tournament race.
Yeah, probably a little bit of panic setting in.
Especially when you've put off that long shot. You must
Yeah,
be feeling
absolutely.
I mean, the thing is that you always hear said is that in a 1v1, you always feel behind.
behind. Yeah. I don't know
And
if
I
Naestriel
do.
feels their... Yeah, I don't know if Naestriel felt their routing has paid out. We know that it's paid out exactly as well as Chuckles has, really, outside of Scrub's money management. But the later game items just weren't in the spaces either of them went to.
They're still being very
Keys
healthy.
placed before light towers. I seem to remember light towers being first and then the keys, Purple, but it's been at least a year since I paid attention to it. You're right that the
If
keys
you're
are
worried
placed before the other things.
If you're worried about light arrows, just play a game mode where you don't need them.
Triforce on.
Check my force blitz. Season 3 incoming.
Let's go. I mean, to be fair, we say incoming, like we haven't got a month plus of Challenge Cup brackets left.
Yeah.
And I love
There's
it.
a lot to go. Also, Chuckles about to take Ganondorf down with those fire arrows.
Yeah, he's diced some Dynalphos. Wet t-shirt. And we're gonna slay some Stalfos. Time to put a wrench in the Spice Girls reunion tour. And all we've got left is the big man.
Smaller one. Big
What do you
man's
mean?
on
It's
his
just-
way.
It's just Ganondorf, right? Nothing else?
You're forgetting about Collapse.
Oh,
That's
right,
Collapse,
yeah,
mate.
collapse. Right, we don't need collapse, we can just Ganon floor now.
It's true, it's true.
Because apparently Ganondorf wasn't fast enough.
Issue now is any further speedrun strats are going to need to be rhyming. You can only focus on things that rhyme with door.
I can't wait for Ganon Jaw, and you just clip through the face into Dongo's cavern into the collapse.
Apparently
That's all I've
really
got for now.
working out for Chuckles now. It's always nice in random warp songs when you get told where your light arrows are and you've got a warp that goes directly in front of it.
Haha! But before you defeat me, have you considered playing Prelude of Light? Oh, I hadn't, thank you.
As you were saying, it's annoying to be told that the light arrows are in First Temple, but it isn't bad. You
No.
know that it's just extending the seeds. There's no good or bad from it.
Yeah.
You get baited here by whatever this was, Stone of Agony. Yeah. It's far away.
Have you ever thought about how the mirror shield's a big scam?
No.
It's called the mirror shield, but you can't even reflect projectiles.
Light's kind of a projectile. Photons, just tiny projectiles.
Right, but in a real, more concrete sense, it isn't, right?
Well, concrete's not very shiny.
And there's lights in it. 2:35, 37. Chuckles is in go mode. Unfortunately, long shot being the undoing of Naestriel, but they have run very well. And there's still a couple games left to be played.
Yep, only the Spirit Temple left. It would have been a go mode spirit anyway. The foolish spirit.
Yes, the scenic route again by Chuckles.
No, this is planned so he can pick up Bolero from Burning Cack and warp straight to Market.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Warp straight into Collapse.
yeah. If this is
This is going to be a
Market,
time save.
No.
Oh yeah. You're going to warp over there.
Hey, it could have been.
No, back-
it could have been.
Thanks a lot.
Could have been closer to that door. He might have lost himself some time.
Would have went
If he's just-
10 feet.
Maybe he's just getting some cardio in for the Ganon fight.
Oh yes, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
it
I
was a
want to do
decent
before I
chance to
defeat the
mark
Kin
it.
of Evil. So now we just defeat Ganondorf and then GG, right?
Yeah.
Sure, there can't be any more plot-related reasons you might have to fight someone else. Yeah, so we had Ruto's letter, hinted path for Twin Rova. The hinted path for Twin Rova being on Morpha Heart. We've finished Jabu. This is Naestriel going through ice. And really, once you get to the end of the ice, the only things letter locked are horseback archery and big pose. And you've got a warp song that takes you directly to Fortress, so Naestriel's got a straight line to the finish here. It's just unfortunately, Chuckles has a much shorter straight line.
Yeah. And as we all know, there's no convenient way to get to Market because there's no safe warp.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's definitely not a quicker way. Otherwise, we'd have seen Chuckles do it on multiple occasions rather than hike there.
It's so easy to get these things in your head. When you're talking about random warps, it's so easy to forget which bits are vanilla.
It's so easy to get lost in the source. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Chuckles with the light arrows. He's equipped fire arrows, but yeah, it's been an interesting seed. Not a bad seed.
The seed that we're not in logic for.
Yeah, that is true. It's been a good seed, but we don't actually know how bad it is because we're not in logic yet. We've spent the last what, 2 hours and 18 minutes out of logic. We don't know where our first magic is. We got a
And we don't need to know.
Yeah, we got a very out of logic magic. Bottom of the well. Walked behind crossing the wasteland.
By the way, I love that the Rando does the classic evil villain gonna tell you how to defeat me before I take you down. It's like, why not just kill me, my dude?
Dramatic tension, Benjy. Have you never played you never written a story?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Oof.
Just missing out on the Goron Sword 1 cycle. A little bit too far forward. And yooped him with a rope-a-dope.
Nice. Well done.
And then finally, with 2 hours, 40 minutes, and we'll call that 50.
241.
We'll say 2 hours, 41 minutes on the nose. Here's Ganon.
Here's bacon. And first, we have to tenderize it first.
What's your preferred tenderizing method of choice? Do you like roll it out with a rolling pin or
Big hammer.
Yeah, tenderize it with the hammer.
nice classic?
To be fair, tenderizing bacon's a bit of a waste since it's already flat.
Well,
Already got a good amount of surface area.
I'm assuming at this point we haven't sliced it up yet, so it's probably still just a big hunk of meat. Apologies for any vegetarians listening, by the way.
Technically, in that case, it's ham rather than bacon.
Oh,
There's a bit of culinary.
okay, we're good.
Yeah,
Now
it's been a
some slicing and
smooth
dicing.
fight so far from Chuckles.
Yeah, really smooth. One more.
I mean, it would have to go seriously wrong to allow Naestriel back into it, but
I was just generally meaning it's very easy to get Ganon very slightly out of angle and have him, start doing a 720 spin on you.
and the one time he did get that, he was able to dodge it and get right back in there.
Exactly. Very close to a perfect Ganon fight. And at
And
2:42:30.
bacon.
GG's in the
GG's.
chat.
Sub 250, very well done.
GG.
And Naestriel has stopped moving. I think that's a.
Yeah,
Let me double check.
so close to the strength 2, but
I think they've got a clear understanding of where the strength 2 is, though.
yeah.
It warped here immediately, so. Oh my god, I just checked the race time room. You'll all be aghast to hear. Chuckles.
It's shocking, isn't it?
I know. Didn't say good luck, have fun before the seed started.
Oh my god.
We boo this man as he enters chat.
Oh, 100%.
I believe we are getting them in for a interview.
Obviously, it's never required that people come in for interview. It's not a condition of being restreamed or a participant.
We're
And it's
here.
always greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Or they're already here. Hi, Chuckles. Hi,
Benjy was
Naestriel.
just saying
GG.
out of hope.
We don't want to
Rude.
see Chuckles.
GG's. So first of all, before we say anything, just to reiterate, Chuckles,
Yeah,
you didn't say good luck. You didn't say
I
to have
know.
fun.
Awful. And I almost did it like an hour in, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Naestriel's on mute, by the way.
I am going to be nice to you, Chuckles, and bring it up now before Jimbo lays into you. You walked to the Temple of Time repeatedly.
I think about
Yeah.
4 different times.
You know you can save quit.
Ah, bastard!
It turns out
We
Chuckles
just-
did not know he could save quit.
We just assumed you were taking the scenic route. We didn't know.
Damn, I completely forgot about
Jimbo
that.
was rubbing his hands with glee in the chat. So you are in for it
that's
there.
so bad. And that, like, the first thing I did immediately was play the song
We
and
did. We
killed
saw you go to Bolero.
and killed the guards. And I was like, it's not random spawns. Like, I don't need to kill the guards. I can just warp here as adult and do this as adult. And then completely forgot, of course, it's not random spawns again. So that's twice I've, yeah. So
No, other than that, how did you find the seed?
I've got a question.
Yes. We got a couple as well.
We don't know.
Well, not for you, but
Okay, I think I'm out of logic still.
Yep, you both
You
are.
are.
yeah. You
But-
you have both been out of logic for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, so we
Yeah.
can actually help you get into logic.
Okay. I think it might be logical AD.
It can't be
It can't
logical
be.
AD. You're
You're
locked out of forest.
a forest.
Okay, right, I didn't know that. So, okay, it's not.
So basically, Magic 1 is somewhere, and we've
Yeah.
narrowed it down to Toilet, 20 Skulls, Remote Grotto, or Hyrule Field Scrub. There's only 4 places we can think of that aren't magic locked. That
I
haven't
mean,
been
if one of
figured
you
out.
feels like putting in the legwork,
Hey, I think I'm on like 18 schools. So.
I'm on 20. I'll go take that.
Okay, well,
Hey, Naestriel, GG.
GG.
GG's, dude.
Indeed, GG's. I can't believe my execution. Hopefully it gave everyone a good laugh.
at
What
least
kind
you
of-
warped to
Okay.
Temple of Time.
Yeah.
I was more referring to right before I found Din's and Boulder of Destiny falling in the river.
I did notice that, and then promptly forgot it until you brought it up again.
Oh, everyone, please forget that then, please.
Wait,
Okay,
what happened?
Fine.
Exactly, thank you.
Oh, I'll watch it back, it's fine.
So I think kind of what made the difference in the seed was was a bit of money routing, just kind of Chuckles being able to hit up some of the scrub grottos and clear them out earlier. Checking the warp songs instantly was really good as well.
Yep.
And it took you a bit of time to find that long shot in the SFM grotto, which, to be
Nice.
fair, you did remember and went back for it, which was a huge relief.
Yep, but
Yeah.
forgetting it was shame. Going through all of Forest and Fire first.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah.
the warp songs worked out well there, as the prelude on the Bolero check did lead
Yep.
to the forest pads. So
Yep, and on my notes tracker, when I saw that it was SFM, literally, I have a whole bunch of periods behind it because I was like, why did I not check this and walk there instead?
Speaking of which, Chuckles, you forgot something in Shadow that you had to go back for, didn't you?
I tell you what, like, some of my dungeon routing was fucking awful this seed. Like, because I have like I use Soli's tracker, so I go through it, but sometimes I don't do it all at the same time when I do the checks when I'm like in a dungeon. And then I was like, and then I went back through my head. I was like, okay, I hit the skull, and then I opened the chest, and then I got the token, and then I left. So, but I was like, if I void here, then I will go back straight to the door. So
Yeah,
I don't feel too
you
bad.
could definitely see the cogs turning in your head when you picked up the next skull. It was like, I picked up the last skull and then just bailed.
Yeah.
And then you check the
Yeah,
map and yeah.
And then my
You-
water
you
temple
go-
routing
you go into that.
was shit as well.
But it's okay. It's okay. You made the right call initially by just skipping it.
Yeah, it was nothing. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You go into that alcove, you do 2 things, and then you move on. You went into the alcove, you did 2 things, and then you moved on. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate. One of them was pick up the skull instead
Pick
of
up
the
the
chest.
skull. Yeah.
Okay, so both of your
How did-
screens, I currently see we don't have. It's not in Remote Grotto. We also have
Yeah,
check
I've
20
done-
skulls.
I've done
One
the
of you needs
field
to do
scrub.
toilet.
I'll go and do toilet.
I mean,
I've got
how
that
did
one.
you find that? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to double check if there was anywhere else we needed to check first.
There may be, but on Restream here, we narrowed it down to South Field, 20 skulls, and toilet.
I
Assuming
mean,
you're meaning for
we-
this first magic.
Yep, and seems fair.
Wait a
We
second.
never saw Tektite either, did we?
Yeah, no,
No, I
Tektite
don't
is
think we
a
saw
thing.
Tektite.
I'll
Oh,
run for it.
I've just gone past that. So where were you when I finished then? Whereabouts were you?
I just got Epinas and was about to check horseback archery. It's either there or pose for strength 2, I presume.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So
You were on a straight line. It was horseback
Yep.
archery.
yeah, and
Yep.
it's not strength. It can't be market because it's foolish.
Oh, right.
And it's when I checked the hint stones before doing any market checks, I knew I won. That was it. I was like,
Yeah,
there's no
it's
way
not
this
this.
luck is like.
I can imagine the smug look on your face.
Yeah,
Like, that stone
it's
first.
like this is the only reason why you check these stones first, and I feel like I got rewarded there because I was actually really worried about my time of day.
Rewarded for the first time in a year of doing it.
Yeah. Because I was kind of a bit concerned about turning at night to do Richard, but I think I got really lucky with the routing that I did. Like going to get storms before going child, then going to the well. I thought was
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And then I was before going into GTG. I was really confused about like the hook logic.
Ah. We
So-
found it.
There it
Sorry.
is.
Okay,
Tektite.
cool.
You don't
I'm
need
gonna
to
do
do
toilet
toilet,
anyway.
Chuckles. All right,
I'm
do
gonna
it
do
for
it.
the memes.
Yeah. Even though I've got barely any items left that I could pick up, maybe for ores.
But that explains
For
though
Roars
that
isn't
super
GTG.
early,
Okay.
early hammer and
No,
iron
Irons.
boots though.
and hammer.
So I got a good laugh out of the double scaling well.
Oh, that was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
C did have jokes.
How did you find the combination of settings?
I
If
played
could-
a few of these
Sorry.
seeds. Oh, it's a key. I played a few of these seeds before today, and I've actually really, really enjoyed it. I've had such good fun playing these settings, actually.
Yeah, I very much enjoy it. It changes the routing so much, and you have scrubs pretty much everywhere, as long as you remember them.
Yeah, it's been fun. Like the random warp songs being beatable only, like makes it really fun to kind of deduce, like change your routing and get really wacky things, and like not needing Kikiri sword or not needing letter and things like that. So it's been fun playing.
Yeah, I think yesterday I ran a practice seed where you just had to warp into fountains, so letter was completely useless.
Yeah, yeah. They're and like like today, just didn't need a warp into Colossus and things like that, and it just makes it really interesting.
Watching the seeds, you probably could have switched the scrubs out for something, but the random warp songs and the required only really was an interesting combination.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we were aware, there's no Requiem pad, which is normally the rule of thumb. A Requiem pad, and you've got a Bolero pad, and as far as we're aware, we've got neither.
Yep, and if it's on Serenade, we're not getting it. Serenade on OoT and Force is locked.
Yeah, the Bolero, that was funny. I walked into Burning Cac and picked up Bolero, and it takes you to Kakariko
Yeah.
Village.
Hell yeah. It would have been funny if it would take you to the entrance so you would go like 10 feet.
Yeah, I did think about playing it. And I was like, and then I was like, no, it's just going to take me further away, like 22 times out of 23 or whatever. So
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It was also a really good job you picked one chicken.
Yeah,
I'm-
I've been like my minor being one chicken is kind of like a I just don't want to lose a seed because of it. So
Oh, Chuckles, why would you say that on stream? You know someone's gonna ban one chicken for your next race.
fine, then we'll both lose to fucking chickens. Like
To be fair, if someone's utilizing a ban on chickens, then you might think actually that means that they're not banning something that I actually want to do. So like,
It's called mind games, Benji.
yeah,
Mind
yeah.
games.
I mean, Krez has been banning one chicken apparently, chickens apparently. But that's kind of what I've been
Why?
like. I've been banning like CAMC off as well because I don't mind
That-
like.
to be fair, I agree with that. CAMC office. I don't know how anyone ever did it.
Yeah, that's just me wanting to have fun, and I think I'm in a lucky position of been playing this game for a long time and used to standard settings and playing RSL and things like that. So none of the settings like phase me. I mean, some of the settings are dull and boring and pointless.
Got those.
Yeah, exactly.
Grottos without scrubs, absolutely, yeah.
But I don't
Mhm.
mind playing them. Like I'll play interiors. Like I've got all the interiors and grottos like laid out in my head. I don't need a tracker for them. So
I knew there
I've
was a reason
noticed
I
you don't-
banned that.
yeah, yeah. I've been seeing you've been banning interior ER, and I was like, cool. Like, fine.
Yeah,
Fine
at
with
some
that.
point I need to just play it. For right now, it's just I don't want to deal with it. I have one ban. It's a good enough thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Me with overworld skulls. I know the feeling to have one you don't like.
Do you have game 2 scheduled?
Yeah,
We
Tuesday
do.
next week.
Yes.
Have you got your settings drafted for that yet, or are you going to wait until after this one?
I don't think
They
you
had to.
Can draft
They had
them
to wait
until-
you
until
do
after
have
this
to.
one.
Yeah,
For
you have to wait.
technological reasons.
Yeah, you can schedule it with the bot. You can't draft it with the bot. But I don't know. I might take the
No, they
weekend
can.
to have a think.
And I'm in no hurry.
Plus, it's going to
Well,
the
you
lab.
get to. I guess
Chuckles, I
you,
think you
you have
need
the
to-
choice of going first or second. So which is-
Indeed.
yeah, cool.
Chuckles, I think
Defender's
you need to
advantage.
you need to crowdsource the settings.
No, I don't hate myself that much.
See, people,
We'll see.
People, the
We'll
thing
see
is,
if we can
people say
convince you this
that, but
weekend.
I generally think that it, maybe it's funny once, but if you don't want to see people playing and clearly having a miserable time, like I've definitely seen races where it's like it's 50 skulls and you've got 50 in logic, and it's like you can tell that no one's really enjoying it, and it's a big slog, and it's like, oh, imagine if we'd got something fun instead. Like every now and again, sure, have a hell seed, but deliberately inflicting pain. That's what we've got the charity restreams for.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Yeah. Are we done? That's cool.
I think we better be done.
Let's
Yeah, I've
bugger
got to
off.
take the bins out. It's Thursday.
All right.
All right.
I think that leaves time for me for one final shout out to everyone who made this restream possible. Thank you, Chuckles and Naestriel, for being good sports and for putting on a heck of a show for us. Thank you to our commentary crew, Benjy, KLO, and Skygoro, and thank you to our amazing tracking team, Sidon, Veva, and Purple. And thank you all for watching. I'm going to rate you over to the inimitable Pippi in a top hat, who's playing some Skyward Sword Randomizer.
Also, thank you to Naestriel for solving the magic problem.
Oh yes, definitely all me. It's not like Chuckles was also checking places.
Goodbye.
Yeah, but you
everybody.
found it, so thank you.
Anytime.
That's the important.